I don't care if your mama told you you can fight Mike Tyson. If you up, smoke me out fan with that dank. This is Black the Black Times Infinity. I'm your host, your boy Blue. Come to you live and direct from the stack. Smoke me out fan with that dank shit. On my far left is mix it up on the ones and twos. It's Kronos.
I don't know how a parody site gets bought by another parody site. It's kind of funny. I don't know if we're like in the Matrix or something like that. I know we're definitely in the future where Marty McFly kept fucking his mom. That's what I do know. Yeah. So something ain't right here, and we need to go back and bring back Harambe or something. I don't know.
That's the apex of it all.
Yeah.
Or what they say in Doctor Strange and Loki. It's what's the name event?
A Nexus event, I think it's called.
Yeah, it's a Nexus event. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was it Loki or was it Into the Spider-Verse? I think
Nexus event. I'm pretty sure. Well, it's in Marvel, so it probably was Loki because they mess with the timeline a lot. Oh, Ninja, we got your audio? Nope, still don't got your audio, man. Do I got us in the Geek Squad?
Ninja, in the void. we can see him, but we cannot hear him. Prodigy is out on the run. I think Zuck is still looking after him. And Stitch is out there doing Batman work, basically. But usually Old Ninja have some RPs, but Kronos, you got some stats for us?
Yeah, I do have some stats for all of us and all of you listening. Listener of the week once again is going to be Zor, our boy Steve. Damn. Thank you very much for listening. I need to he finally responded. He was finally the one that took a long time to respond. It was definitely not in the same lunar cycle. And now I got to respond. I kind of forgot to respond to him. But yeah, he's our listener of the week. We had a pretty good week with listens once again. And in the live chat, there's nobody there yet, but we are live. Yeah, we are. So we're only like a few minutes late, but we're usually a few minutes late. So, what do you expect?
Yeah. It's TV time, folks.
There we go. Killer Frost, the new dad.
Oh, snap. Congrats.
I mean, he's been a new dad for a while, but, he's still gaming. So,
yeah.
it's all good for the first 6 months or so, and then all of a sudden you got to pay attention to your kid a little bit more. They stay awake, and gaming kind of drops off a little bit, but it's okay. I have plenty of pictures of me with Riley sleeping on me while I have a controller in my hand, so you can still get your gaming in.
You just gotta make sure you have headphones on. You gotta have one ear out because you want to make sure your kid's still breathing.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, Old Ninja he's having technical issues. So we'll wait for him to do the RIPs if there is any this week. Was there any RIPs this week? I feel like there wasn't any.
I mean, people die every day. Somebody died. Yeah. I mean, somebody literally just died, right? No.
Yeah.
So,
RIP to that person.
Yeah, whoever that was. Sorry.
All right. So, yeah, Prodigy's out today. So it looks like it's going to be me and Kronos for the show. Sorry. Have you ever had these on the rocks, like the pre-mixed cocktails?
I've had not the particular one that you're holding in your hand. What's that one called? It's a Knob Creek something.
It's old fashioned with made out of. I always thought they said New Kids on the Block for some reason, but it's Knobs Creek whiskey or bourbon.
Nice.
But what the hell?
Is it pretty good for old fashioned?
Yeah, it's pretty good, but it's a little bit on the weak side.
Oh well, that's kind of weird. It's funny. Every time every time I order an old fashioned or get an old fashioned or anytime somebody says old fashioned, I think of a hand job.
It's like, wait. How's that?
That's like a saying for a hand job is an old fashioned.
Oh wow!
If y'all didn't know,
reach around.
Yeah. No, the reach around I mean, it's a hand job too, but that's something a little different.
I gotta now I need to look it up and see why it's an old fashioned called a hand job or is a hand job.
I'm pretty sure that's pretty sure it's what it is. Yeah, because that's back in my Marine Corps days, back when I was a little bit more of an asshole, raunchier, younger, more handsome.
Is it called an old fashioned because they don't use lube because they didn't have lube back then?
I mean, you got spit. But,
yeah, I guess you do, right?
It's not the greatest lube. It has to be constantly applied.
Dude, it's funny. Earlier today, I was thinking about a previous episode we did where we were talking about Vaseline. I was like, why was that so funny? I couldn't remember why. And then it dawned on me. It's like, oh yeah, Vaseline is literally just gasoline but with a V.
Yeah.
That had me crack it up. And also, it's made out of petroleum, which is what gas is made out of.
Yes.
Of.
And that's I don't know. It's still a product that people put on their skin all the time, and I'm just like, I don't know. That doesn't seem right to me. You know.
Yeah.
But I used to use it all the time when I was a kid. You know. It's also kind of gross.
I
Like
probably use it for my feet.
it's also kind of gross. Like when you're obviously I don't know if this is the same situation if you're white and have straight hair or if you just have straight hair. But when you're black and you use Vaseline, almost always you would have like some of your hair would get in the Vaseline, look super gross. So
Was that a Diddy joke?
That was not a baby
shit,
joke. We can hear you now. There we go. All right.
Yeah, I changed headsets because I literally bought those headsets today, and I've barely been able to. I haven't used the mic, but I've used it. Like I can hear sound, and it was accepting it and it allowed it, but it wasn't somehow working for some reason. It wasn't on mute. But
not a fan of that headset, man. Them shits is the worst. 0 out of 10.
We're highly not recommend.
So I'm still freaking out. It's cool because I bought those. They're Turtle Beaches, but they work for all my consoles. So it has like a dongle, and I can just plug it into anything. But it's also Bluetooth. So
the headphones I have are Beats, and they could be wireless. They connect Bluetooth, or you can actually connect it wirelessly or wired. So they're probably gonna die. Like the battery is pretty low on them right now. I've been using them a lot lately.
I'm old school. I'm still going wired.
You just have to charge. Yeah, these aren't wired, but it does have like a dongle, so I can plug this into anything. And then if it has Bluetooth capabilities, I can do Bluetooth. It's a little weird.
I feel like there was a missed opportunity when they started calling these things dongles. They should have called USB dingles. So you put your dongle in the dingle.
Back in the day, dongles were longer. So maybe.
Yes, they were. They actually look like dongs.
Yeah.
Very small dongs.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Having like a Bluetooth dongle that just like stuck hella far out of your laptop. Now they're like,
now
there's this size of a nail.
They're literally like the USB things, or the little things you just plug in. My old mouse was like that. I just plug in. It was like little, like maybe 2 millimeters. And it works fine.
You know what's crazy is that I think that like this, newer generations don't really understand like the leaps in technology. Back in the when USB came around, it was like most people didn't think it was gonna be like a really big thing. But back in the day, there was a different plug for both your keyboard and mouse. There were PS2 like these weird fucking circular things, and they're totally separate cables they had to use. It wasn't a USB
different
thing.
Color.
Everything was separate. Yeah, different colors. Yeah. Like even
it was like pink and green was the color.
Yeah, pink and green or purple or lavender and green.
Yeah.
And then your monitors were all weird as fuck. Like it went from like VGA to DVI. Then we got mine uses HDMI or display or display mini DisplayPort. And it's just like to see like all those jumps from like different and then now everything is basically USB-C. Yeah. Holy shit.
Shit am I?
What is going on?
Oh
yeah. he's Max Headroom now.
Oh dang.
Oh Jesus.
Dang.
Does it look like a skull? It looks like a skull on my end. What the hell?
No, you're like partially whited out and frozen.
I think you're stuck in the Matrix, bro. If you're all just listening, Blue's camera just went ape shit. Like
yeah, it just totally glitched out. I think because we were talking about USB, and I was like, oh.
Yeah, freaked out.
But it's my time to fail.
I was gonna say that let me. If I stop my camera, I'm gonna drop out. But I was just gonna say. So I was working on a project. I was building out this data rack in one of our laboratories. I had to say laboratory because lab just doesn't sound cool. Anyway, so I was connected. We have a VGM, a KVM drawer, which is like a monitor and a keyboard, and you basically just plug it up to your network or like a PC or whatever. And for some reason, like I couldn't figure out why the monitor wasn't freaking working and the keyboard wasn't working. And it turned out that I had the video cable backwards because it had a KVM to VGA cable, but the KVM the KVM looks just like a VGA. So I wasn't paying attention. I was just connecting things, and like that was the reason why it wasn't working was because one end was orange and the other end was blue, and I didn't realize that I had the colors going in the wrong way.
You know what's even more messed up is all the connectors that Kronos just talked about is on my motherboard for my old desktop, which still works. It's behind me in my desk. Yeah, so in order to bypass the mouse keyboard thing, I had to buy a USB like Bluetooth connector for both my mouse and keyboard for a new mouse and keyboard. But I still have the old ones. I have them somewhere. I think they're over there. But you had to plug in like the mouse and keyboard, and it was connected into one. It was one cable that split into like 4 cables or whatever. I have that shit.
So. Remember back in the day when they had you had to clean like your mice? You had to like literally take the the ball out of the mouse and then take like a knife and clean the fucking wheels off. Like
no, I just use air or just like whatever. Yeah.
No, like, you had to use a knife.
You had to use a
knife.
Like
a trail of crud on there.
Yeah, you got kind of gross.
Not for me. I was just like maybe I clean mine frequently because like if it didn't track right, I'd like pop the ball out and just blow and pull. It was usually dust. Pull the dust out and then go back. It's fine.
But now like everything's optical, so it's like you never have to clean like your optical mice. I mean, really, it's just crazy.
Nope. And you can use any surface now because back in the day you had to use like a mouse pad.
Oh yeah.
Either didn't work or it didn't track.
It didn't track correctly.
That's wild shit. And here we are nowadays. It's funny because I was thinking about this. One of my favorite movies to like love because it's super cheesy is the movie The Big Hit, right?
Oh, yeah.
So the Big Hit part of the story was about the main guy. He had an outstanding videotape, and like the whole part of the movie is about like this guy at the video rental store that kept calling him because they lay video, and like how he's collecting fees and stuff. I'm like, dude, this shows like a wannabe blockbuster, and like that kind of shit's no longer existent. Like, really, I mean, there might be a couple, and like random U.S. places.
It's Oregon and Alaska. There's like 2.
Yeah, but nowadays mostly everything's streaming.
Yeah,
like you get anything from anything with the internet connection, you can pretty much get anywhere, anything you want if you know how to do it.
Dude, the Big Hit has one of my favorite quotes of all time. It was by Crunch when he goes, "I said lanolin, not this aloe vera bullshit." He was trying to find fucking lotion because this guy. Well, let me just give a backdrop. So this movie, this guy, he's a grown ass man, and he never jacked off a day in his life, and he jacks off one day. And now he's just trying to find like the best lube to jack off with, and it's fucking hilarious. And they're all hitmen. So yeah,
it's the funniest shit, and it's funny because the sub story or the B story in the film was about this whole video store, and there's this huge fight at the video store, like this huge fight, and there's a part where the 2 guys are fighting, and they go to the part where it's like video renter of the month, and it's Crunch. There's a big ass picture of Crunch.
Yeah,
like shit's so funny.
That actor's name is also known as Evil Dave Chappelle. So
yeah. Oh well, I mean, if you watch the Halo TV series, he's in that. He's like one of those rejected Spartans with the fucked up hand, but he's pretty awesome. That movie's fucking. I love that movie because it's like probably the last movie Avery Brooks did. I think, and it's fucking awesome. It's fucking amazing.
Dude, I'm like, I went to look at the movie. I'm like, oh shit, I do remember watching this now.
I've seen it a dozen times over because it has like big stars. I mean, it has Mark Wahlberg, Lou Diamond Phillips, Hakeem Woodbine, and Antonio Sabato Jr., who was like, I guess he was a model turned actor, and has Avery Brooks. Christina Applegate, and Elliot Gould. I forgot the other lady.
Who was that? Who was the Asian chick? There was an Asian chick in there.
That's China Chow. That was like her.
Yeah,
her
I remember her. Yeah.
China Chow. She's literally the daughter of the guy who started Mr. Chow's nationwide Chinese fucking franchise. So she's in like 3 movies her whole career, I believe. But she's hella awesome. It was a great movie. Yeah, I've seen it a dozen times.
I was looking at the pictures from it, and it showed her. I was like, why does she look so familiar? Like she looks like she kind of looks like a mix between Sarah Silverman and Lucy Liu a little bit.
China Chow? I mean,
yeah,
I guess.
I don't know. Like back in the day, I'm like looking at her image, but
I don't know. But she was hilarious in that film because I guess that's her first movie, but she's fucking awesome. So.
Dude, it still trips me out that Lou Diamond Phillip isn't Mexican. Like,
is he native?
He's like Filipino.
Oh, he's Filipino.
He's Filipino.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, just because he played La Bamba and like some other Latin movies. He was also in the Law of the County, or what's it called? Not Stand By Me. What is it called? Let me look. I have to look at. I feel like he plays like he plays like a Latin gangster, and like it takes place in East LA.
Oh, was that Blood and Blood? No, it's not Blood and Blood Out. What was the? I think I know what you're talking about.
I have the actors, like the actor who plays the teachers, and like he also the actor in the movie that plays the teacher also was Selena's dad in the movie Selena with Jennifer Lopez. Oh, Stand and Deliver. That's what it is.
That's what. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's Stand and Deliver,
It's
where he plays the Mexican gangster.
Back in '88.
Yeah, that's a while ago. But he's in a lot of stuff. So he's in this new werewolf movie. It's out the first week of December. It's kind of weird, but I'm like, damn, I haven't seen Lou Diamond in a long time. I know he's in a couple TV movies and a couple streaming movies, but I haven't seen him in anything in a long time.
He was in Doctor Strange.
Lou Diamond Phillips is in Doctor Strange?
Yeah, he played like some guy who the Ancient One used her power, her dark powers to get him to like walk or whatever.
Oh.
And then when she died, like he got all crippled again.
I barely remember.
I mean, it was a small role, but it kind of helped lead Doctor Strange to the path of the Ancient One, or whatever her name was. Was it Ancient One?
Yeah, she's Ancient One. She's awesome. I love the big hit. Yeah. Oh, she's in a few movies actually. She stopped acting like a while ago, but yeah, whatever.
All right, let's where we want to go first. There's a lot of stuff that happened over the last week. I think one of the main ones was probably the Tyson Paul fight.
Yeah.
Did y'all at least attempt to watch that?
I watched it. I watched the entire thing. It's like the first sporting event I watch in like 6 or 7 years. Yeah, I watched it. It was. What's your take on it? I'll let you go. You're the sports guy. You're the.
Yeah, I'm a fight guy, I guess. Yeah, it was interesting. I think in retrospect, even though Mike Tyson is 58 years old, and it was at fucking midnight, and he was
basically
he had an injured knee, and I know he had some serious health complications like 4 months ago. I still think that he was pulling his punches in the fight. So yeah, there was a couple times where like his body automatically started reacting, and he had to like literally pull his punches. So yeah, I mean, do what you got to do for a paycheck, but yeah, I don't want to see something like that again. I want to see him fight like kind of for real. Actually, I don't really want to see him really fight at all because he's fucking 58. Yeah. You know what I mean? I want to see him retire, be happy, and smoke a whole bunch of weed. Because I feel like he had to get into like a really serious sort of shape for this fight, do all this promos, and it didn't seem like he was really enjoying himself during the lead up to it. And yeah, I mean, I didn't think that. I'm an aging athlete, okay? So let me just be perfectly honest. Like when I have to roll with somebody that's like 20 years younger than me, which I do frequently, it can be a challenge, unless I have way more skill than they do, which I'm a purple belt, almost a brown belt. So most of the time I do. But if you're a purple belt, my same rank, and you're 10, 20 years younger than me, like you're gonna be faster than me. You're gonna have better reflexes than me. I have to rely on like my skill like a lot to like beat somebody like that. Like I have to put them in positions where I know I can beat them. And yeah, you lose a step as you age. It's like Father Time is undefeated. So that's why I didn't really give Mike Tyson like a real chance to beat, was it Jake or Logan Paul? I forget what their fucking names are. Jake Paul.
Yeah.
That's why I gave Jake Paul a chance to beat him, was because he's younger. I mean, he could his gas tank 100% is gonna be better. He's gonna be able to, he's gonna be faster. Too. Yeah, he's gonna be faster. He might not have as much power because power is like one of the last things that go. Old man strength is a real thing. It really is. I can say from experience. But yeah, it's a shame that what I didn't like is that Jake Paul had the opportunity to fight a legend, and I don't think he really appreciated it that much. I think he's fighting all these people that, first of all, they're not boxers in their prime, or they're not boxers at all. And the one time he fought a guy that was a boxer around his same age, he fucking lost. So he's not fighting, people that are at his same skill and age level. And I feel like he's like a vampire for these people, just like using them to make money. And yeah, they're making some money too, but I mean, he has to do that because if he fought somebody like his actual skill and age level, it'd be like a mid-tier profile. It wouldn't be for a title. He's in no title contention. He's not even. I don't think he's even fucking ranked by any boxing organization because he's fighting people that aren't even ranked. So this is all just for pure entertainment. Go ahead.
Have any of his fights been like actually like boxing official like sanctioned match, or have they all been like? I guess some people would call some of his fights kind of gimmick fights because of the fact that he's not really fighting real boxers.
Well, they're all sanctioned, right? So they all have like I forget what they call it. But there's different sanctioned fights for boxing. So if you're gonna box, you have to have like to get like a referee and all this shit. Like you have to have a sanctioned fight. Like you have to pass like physicals and all this shit. There's a lead up to it. So they are real pro fights, but they're not really. They're not really like. Because he's not fighting to go up the ranks in boxing. Like he's not fighting anybody that's anywhere near contention except for I forget the one guy that he fought that he lost to, but because he was actually like a pro fighter, he was actually like coming up through the ranks too, like for real. But yeah, everybody else is like YouTuber, MMA fighter, old boxers, it's like
he lost to Tommy Fury.
Yeah.
Back in 2023.
Yeah, and that's
go ahead. Won 8 rounds.
Yeah. I mean that's to be expected because like he's his Tommy Fury's brother is the former heavyweight champion. So yeah, I mean that's to be expected. I expect every single notable professional actual boxer that trains in boxing exclusively that is not over the age of 35 or 40, really 40. I expect him to lose like 75 to 80% of the time to anybody that's like that because his boxing, yeah, he's a pro, but he's not like his boxing isn't spectacular. It's kind of mediocre, and I think he would get a lot better if he fought people that were actually in their prime professional boxers.
Yeah,
so that's my opinion. But I mean, he's making money, so who am I to say? I'm sitting here making YouTube that makes hardly any money. So, and I'm a computer guy by trade. So,
yeah, one of the interesting thing was like the whole coming to the stage part. Like Jake Paul had like he was on like a low rider and like all these people around, blah 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 blah. But Mike just came out just on foot, walking straight to the ring, and I thought that was interesting. But at that point, it just seems like he wasn't into it. He's like hot, like it seems like he just wanted to like go home and like sleep, I guess. But and I just that because I think I heard rumors that like he was gonna come out with Eminem and Eminem's gonna like rap him to the stage. Like I was hoping he would have had like more props when he came out to the stage, but it was just kind of him just walking out there and like that was it.
That's the way he's always been. He's always been like black hoodie cut off, arms and just walked out, and he was like really no nonsense. Like he didn't have any fucking frills or anything. And that's what was crazy. Like back in in the 90s watching him, or really in the 80s watching him come up, because he was like the fucking boogeyman. He would just come out, no frills, and just knock people out like so viciously. Wouldn't even hardly say anything for a long time.
And I remember people got mad at Mike Tyson. Like to watch these fights, you had to pay for it. They had this thing called pay-per-view, right?
Yeah.
And like these matches were like $65, and this was like
back then it was like 40, 50. So they still have pay-per-view today.
Well, I'm just saying though, like back then, like that was like a lot of money the whole season. Like people would like pull in money to get these to do like these pay-per-views, and Mike Tyson would knock fools out in like seconds.
Yeah,
people would be mad. Be like, "Yo, I want to like watch a fight." But I mean, it's watching him knock people out was fun, but like people paid all this money for like 10 seconds of footage. Like it was crazy back then.
And I think what was great about Mike Tyson, back in his heyday, back before he kind of went a little off the rails, back before Custom Auto died, was that there's a lot of boxers out there that people, especially now, or even just like fighters in general, where you watch some of these fighters that are like, considered the greatest of all time, and people watch because you wanted them to lose. Like John Jones is a perfect example. John Jones, like a Floyd Mayweather. Like people watch their fights now because they hope that they're going to lose, because everybody wants to see like them get their ass kicked, because they're kind of like dickish people. But Mike Tyson, he just, he didn't talk a lot back then. he just went in and just fucked people up, and people just wanted to see people get fucked up, and he delivered, and then but then again, after Customato died, he got into drugs, he got into like lions and tigers and shit, and just started doing crazy stuff. But I think if he would have stayed focused after Customato died, he would have been kind of like the new archetype for boxing champions. Because before that, he had like Muhammad Ali, who was like very, boisterous, huge personality. He had George Foreman, who wasn't like, huge personality, but he's fun.
I wish you had like your Sugar Ray Leonard. I used to love watching him fight.
Yeah. But watching Mike fight, man, he was just, God, especially the way like he moved, he was so, because like that peekaboo style that he had, like I had never, I was obviously at the time I was very young. I had never seen anything like that before. Like the way he was moving with his hands always up, and the way he would just like move his body like back and forth and kind of like duck in and like come in and just smash people and like uppercut people like almost out of their goddamn shoes. It was crazy. Do we have a guest? Hey Sebastian, no, he can't hear us.
He's always who was that? Yeah. He's always
he's getting big. So big. Blue, you know what's crazy? I was going through like my old Google documents and I still have my best man speech for you. My Google documents.
You do?
Yeah.
That's cool. I need to go back and stuff like that. But kind of jumping back to Mike Tyson, like this whole peekaboo thing, like they captured that in his game, Mike Tyson Punch Out.
Yeah.
And like that was like his signature move, because he would like his move was uppercuts. Like he would hit you with an uppercut and just your head would fly off basically. And in this fight, there were so many opportunities where he could have hit Jake with an uppercut. Like a lot of people have gone back and like one of the things, if you put a video in slow motion, it gives you the viewer, it gives you the sensation that this person had enough time to think about something. But when you watch it in fast, like as normal play, like Jake would be so open, and Mike like had the perfect opportunity to uppercut him, or even just come in with like, I guess like a jab from the right. I guess I don't know what it's called.
Jab from a hook? Are you talking about a hook?
Yeah, a hook. Hit him with a hook.
Jab from the right. What the fuck? It's all right.
No, it's no, but like yeah, there's so many opportunities, and like you can see Mike Tyson, like his body will go into the motion, but his fist would like kind of recoil, like he would hold it back, and it was so obvious. And like I mean, there's your conspiracy theories here and there. There's like people saying that there was a contract where Mike couldn't knock out Jake Paul. Like in the contract, he wasn't allowed to knock out Jake Paul, and then there's other ones where he couldn't hit him with like uppercut and stuff like that. And that the longer the rounds went, the more money that Mike got. Like that, those are the rumors I'm hearing regarding this fight. I mean, I don't know if it's true or not yet. I guess it will come out eventually, but I don't know. I definitely feel like Mike was definitely holding back, and it was kind of sad to see, like watching it, and like there was a point where like Mike looked like he was just tired, like the way he was like moving around on the stage, and so I was like,
yeah,
man,
I mean, you're gonna get tired, yeah.
He's 50. Round 1 and 2, he was like in there, but then like all the other rounds, he was definitely, he had no gas in the tank. That's the impression I got.
Well, what was crazy to me is that people were like watching it that are like not fighters, and they're like, oh, it's only 2-minute rounds. Like he's gonna get gas in 2 minutes. I'm like, yes, he's almost fucking 60 years old. Have you ever gotten to like these people always that say these things? Have you ever been into a fight in like since you were a kid? Getting into a fight is fucking tiring. Like 2 minutes into a fight is forever. It's forever in a fight, and I have to do that like multiple times. People just don't understand like how much energy that takes. And when you're almost 60. And I'm sure he's on, some sort of regimen for like his testosterone or something to get him in that physical shape. But still, like that shit is tiring. Like when I do jiu-jitsu, like I usually do 5-minute rounds, and I can roll a lot, but I'm pretty good condition, and I'm 45. It's still tiring though, especially depending on like how fast somebody wants to roll with me. Like if I roll with like, people that are like outskill me, are stronger than me, and are faster than me, like that 5 minutes feels like fucking 30. So to be honest, like, and unless you've experienced that, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. And what you were talking about, Blue, before, about how, when you're watching it in slow motion, It's like that. Like when you're fighting, like there's things that'll happen to you where like you have like, it's almost like a script where like you'll move your body in a certain position, you'll see them do something else, and then you'll automatically start moving. But that happens in your mind in a slower perceived time than like from the outside view, because that's what you're waiting on. And so that's why you see him like throw a punch, but then kind of have the opportunity to pull back, because in his mind, like he already knows what to do. And to him, it's like, it's in way more slower motion than us, even at his older age. So yeah, I mean, just anybody that's out there that thinks like, oh, you know, he shouldn't have got gassed because of 2-minute rounds. I mean, just get into a fight for 2 minutes. Get into a 100% fight for 2 minutes and see how you feel, and then do that 8 times.
Or even go for a run.
Yeah, just go for a run.
Fucking 2 minutes nonstop. I mean, if you're a runner, you can probably do that, but you know,
listen,
sprints though.
I'm still amazed after last week when I looked at the CDC numbers of the average height and weight of a man being 5'7" and a half, or 7/5, or not 7/5, 3/4, and 200 pounds. That's the average height and weight for a man in America. That is not an in-shape weight.
Damn.
All right, that is not an in-shape weight.
I'm still below average. That's good.
Yeah. Well, you're tall too, so.
Yeah. What I was gonna say. Regarding Mike Tyson, and the first two rounds, there was one punch that he landed on Jake, and Jake was like, yo, like he started to run away from Mike. Like that's when I was like, oh shit, this is gonna be good. But then after that, like it kind of went downhill. But like people were saying that like there's a point where Jake and Mike kind of huddle up to each other, and that was kind of Jake's telling Mike, hey, yo, man, you know, stick to the script, like, you know, calm down with your punches, because that one rocked my brain basically. But I don't know, Mike did get in like one really good hit, and I was like, oh man, like that really stumbled Jake. Like he was like, he was back on the rings basically. But I don't know, the fight didn't go the way I wanted to go. Like I know everybody wanted to see Mike Tyson knock out Jake, and like we knew that he could do it, and we didn't get the chance to see that.
See, and that's what I was talking about. People watch a lot of fights to watch people lose. And people, every time you see Jake Paul or his brother Logan, they're paying money to watch them to lose. And they know that people want to see them lose. And that's how they get all these views, because they just want to see them lose. But it's probably not going to happen. So, because they're not getting into serious fights. Like somebody said, oh, he called out, you know, Canelo Alvarez. Like, first of all, like, no, like you need to work your way up. Even so, he would get his fucking ass kicked handily by that guy, because he's a serious professional boxer. He doesn't need to make, you know, under the counter money. Like he's well off now. He doesn't need to make. He can fight a serious boxer and make the same amount of money that probably Mike Tyson made off of this fight, or way more. And he's way more skilled. He's faster. He's a better fucking boxer. So no, like he's not going to fight Canelo Alvarez next. If he wants to, then he needs to fight somebody that's top 10 ranked in his weight class, which he has not done thus far. And he's only had like 9 fights so far.
Wiki saying that Mike Tyson was his 12th fight.
12th fight. Okay, well look at the Wikipedia. Hold on, I'll look at the Wikipedia so I can tell you exactly who these people are. Folks that he's fighting that are not. They're not boxers. Like,
yeah, like they're MMA fighters. There's basketball player. Like, what the fuck was that? He fought Nate Robinson, who's a basketball player for the New York Kings. No, is that hockey? New York Kings hockey, huh?
Yeah. Okay. Look at this. So, his first fight, Ali Louis I can't even say this guy's whole name. He doesn't even have a Wikipedia page. He got a TKO. Nate Robinson, who's a basketball player, like that's not even really a fight. Ben Askren, who's a wrestler, not even really a fight. Tyron Woodley, who's past 30, who's an MMA fighter, also a wrestler. He fought him twice for some reason. And you know, he's like I said, he's not a boxer, he's a wrestler. Also MMA fighter. Anderson Silva, who's in his fucking 40s, MMA fighter. He won against unanimous decision. Tommy Fury, the one actual fucking boxer that is near his age, he lost to. Then Nate Diaz, who's in his 30s who's an MMA fighter, mostly known for jiu-jitsu and just MMA in general. Andre August, don't know who the fuck that guy is. Ray Bluard, another guy. Who the fuck is this guy? Mike Perry, who is a bare knuckle champion, but he fought him on short notice. So, fight Mike Perry in bare knuckle boxing. Good luck. Honestly, good luck. And then he fought Mike Tyson. So, yeah, these are all guys that are just like, these are very unserious matches for the most part. So, yeah.
One thing I want to talk about, I mean, I know you're going to talk about another thing regarding the fight, but why did Netflix have to show Mike Tyson's ass? Like, what the fuck? Like, when they were interviewing him,
yeah,
Mike just walked away, just ass cheek, just hang like that was some shit that Prince would do, basically, just walk around with his ass cheeks out. But honestly, that shit was fucking funny. That was like, well, it was almost like you're at like an old person home. And like, some random old dude is like walking around with his back opened out and his ass cheeks just hanging out. Like that's the feeling I got.
Well, they probably thought like the cup thing. He was wearing like a whole like shorts, but no, that's like a cup like midsection thing, and it's like you put shorts kind of over that. But whatever. So I think that was a mistake on both parties' part. They shouldn't have been. I mean, they shouldn't have been in the locker room like that. That was kind of weird. Also, I find it very weird that like the whole boxing, like the padded thing for like the midsection is like way too high, as far as I'm concerned. I don't know if you noticed, but like, so the reason why they have their shorts like kind of high up is because there's like this huge pad that's there, and it's to stop like certain body shots. Like I think if they didn't have like that huge pad there, there'd be way more body shot KOs, and like liver shots would be like really good in boxing again. So. You don't see that many liver shots in that KOs in boxing because of that pad that's there, and because the gloves are bigger and they'll hit that pad kind of while you're trying to get in the area. Yeah, liver shots are fucking awful. So,
all right, you want to talk about your viewing experience of the Tyson fight, which I think millions of Netflix watchers had.
Oh yeah. If you watch the, I don't know about everybody else's experience, but my experience watching this fight was fucking terrible. It was okay leading up to it. Like I watched some of the two previous fights. I watched some of the women's fight, which I didn't get a chance to watch all of it because my daughter was still up and she didn't want to watch it. And I'm like, that's fine. I need to go back and watch it because I heard that somebody got robbed. But then as soon as like the Mike Tyson build-up started coming on, it was like, holy shit. First of all, I went back to like, did I download a video from Napster and put it on the TV? It was like so pixelated, so awful. Then it kept like disconnecting. I think Netflix totally misunderstood how many folks wanted to see Mike Tyson fight again, and also misunderstood how many people just hated Jake Paul and wanted to see him lose. So what I'm hearing so far is like 60 million people live streamed it, that's a lot of fucking people. So
how many people voted?
Yeah, more people. I mean, more people voted than that, but yeah, that's a lot of people streaming anything. But they should have, had their ISP ready to stream and their servers ready to stream that much content at the same time. And they were ill prepared. But honestly, I think they've been incrementally testing out their live streaming service. If y'all didn't know, Netflix is going to have a live streaming service. And it started with, it was like something live with David Chang. He had a cooking show.
Wasn't it with Weed? Wasn't? Oh no, something else.
No, that was something else. Show. Yeah, the David Chang show. I actually watched most of the episodes. It was really cool because he had celebrities on. He did a cooking show live. It's actually really good. If you want to get a chance, check it out. It's all recorded. And they got a contract with the WWE, so they're going to do, I think it's Monday Night Raw live streaming starting next year. And I think this is a good measuring stick for them to be like, hey, like what can we sustain going forward with live streaming? So yeah, you have a lot of infrastructure problems, Netflix. Please fix that when you're live streaming. Like you got to fix that problem, because if you do that shit with WWE, oh boy, you're gonna have a very, very angry people that live in basements. I'm just saying.
I think it's just Middle America.
Middle America. I'm just kidding, people. If you watch wrestling, I love wrestling too. I just haven't watched it in a long time.
All the old Hulkamaniacs are gonna come after you. They're not young anymore.
No, yeah, they're quite old. They're in like walkers and shit. But yeah, I think hopefully. Oh, and also they've done some live stuff with. I think it's like Thursday Night Football. They do some football stuff too on Netflix. I'm pretty sure it was Netflix that does it because I know Amazon did it too.
Amazon, yeah, Amazon has like Tuesday Night Football.
Yeah,
which is weird because it's always been like Monday Night Football for growing up as a kid for me. But yeah, I think Tuesday Night Football games are on Amazon.
Let me see which is the. They've had a few live streaming things. Let's see. Oh, so they did. That's not live.
I think Chris Rock had a live.
Yeah, Chris Rock. Yeah, he did. Tadum. I don't even know what that is. Global fan event. I think that's something in India. So that's good on you because. Oh, it's in Brazil. Okay. That was so they started doing live streaming last year. They did a baby animal cam. So see, they're just incrementally going up. The Netflix Cup, I didn't know that was even a fucking thing. They did some golf stuff. Okay. They did the Screen Actors Guild Award, which is earlier this year. Netflix Slam, which is probably tennis or some shit. Yeah, that's tennis.
Oh, I thought they brought back Slammers with the whole fucking the pogs and shit.
Oh, holy shit! That was
kill at that game.
I remember pogs.
I was like, 91, 92. No, that was high school because I remember like rocking them then. So it was like 94, 95. What was pogs a thing?
Yeah. Okay. So they did do the NFL and celebrity boxing. So yeah, they've had a few. Yeah, they just got to fix it. Wow, there's gonna be like a Beyonce thing coming up.
Do you remember Pogs were called milk caps? And Pogs originated in Hawaii in 1920. Holy shit!
All right,
it really took a long time for to be picked up.
Oh, that's right. They did the live. They're doing a live hot dog eating contest. Isn't that?
Oh yeah.
Right. That was it was like a rematch or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, Kobayashi versus Joey Chestnut.
Yeah, that was rematch. I didn't even watch it. I couldn't get a chance to.
Yeah, those things are interesting to watch because dude will eat like 75 hot dogs and like one person, like somebody else on the that's part of the competition eats like 12. Like they're like nowhere near to his capacity.
No. Because they eat, it's like 5 to 10 minutes or something? They eat like 50 or something? It's like crazy. Or more.
Yeah, it's like way more than you probably should eat. And like I actually, I watched a video of Joey Chestnut like talking about like what they have to do to like eat all that stuff and like how they have to prepare for it. And yeah, it's just, it's crazy. They're basically like pro athletes for eating.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
they're considered competitive eating athletes. There's this lady in San Jose. She's like 5'3" and like 90 pounds. Like those are like a few years ago that was like her legit like stats. She was like, and I guess she was in the Guinness World Book of Records because she could eat 3 times her weight. She was a competitive eater.
Shit. You cannot eat 3 times your weight.
Apparently she could. At least in competition. She wasn't doing it like.
Oh, Ninja, you cannot. Oh, Ninja, you cannot eat 3 times your weight.
Wait, hold on.
That's literally impossible. If she's 90 pounds, she cannot eat almost 300 pounds worth of food. She would literally fucking explode. Maybe a third of her weight? I mean, even that's a lot. Like, that's a lot of food. Like 30 pounds?
Yeah.
That's a lot of food.
It is a lot of food.
I was like, what animal out there eats that fucking much? Like, I was thinking like a gorilla or a fucking sperm whale. I don't know.
Yeah, that'd be quite a bit. Like if I eat, I don't know, Jesus, I can't. Yeah,
I can barely eat like a 12-ounce steak.
Yeah, I'm just thinking like, how much can I actually eat? And I fast every day. I'm like, how much can I sit down and actually eat? If I ate like 5 pounds of food, that'd be like a lot.
That's a lot.
That's
Dude,
5 pounds
like
for me
kid
would be like
meat?
a lot.
She'd eat a
Like
lot.
kid meat, maybe. Because I remember like as a kid eating like a whole pizza, like a whole medium pizza, like no problem. Just
Yeah, but that's not
now I can
5
now I
pounds.
can like now I can eat like 3 slices, and I'm like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah.
But I was gonna say for the eating competition, it's like they never show you the aftermath because like once they're done eating, you guys ever see that you guys watch the movie Stand By Me, right? Where like they talk about the pie eating contest. I'm pretty sure that's how it is after those competitions are over. You just got people just
Well, so Joey said that they don't throw up. They said that like they usually just like it takes a while for them to digest all the food and it comes out like the normal way. So they just shit it all out. It just like they have to like literally just like rest and like wait for it to all like digest, and that takes it takes a while for all that stuff to digest. So
I thought they were just upchucking it, but if they're pooping it out. Their poops probably like the size of a toddler because damn toddlers' poops are fucking huge.
Oh my god, yeah.
God damn.
Yeah.
My kid like breaks records. I swear to God.
Yeah, my youngest has clogged. She used to clog many a toilets, and I'm just like, I have no idea how that came out of your body, like without screaming it.
Yeah, I'm
like,
yeah. Neither. There's like a portal or something like that. Like the food, they're in their bottomless hole, but then that bottomless hole just out of them.
Yeah. Crazy. Anyway, that was gross.
we went to talking about people throwing up to kids pooping.
Yeah.
Kids pooping. Hold on, is this her? Is this Sonia Thomas? Is this her?
Yeah, you just Google like how much can someone eat.
Yeah,
it cannot be like 3 times your weight. Like it can't.
Like Google AI just told me like no, it is extremely dangerous and not recommended to eat 3 times your body weight in food. Doing so likely leads to severe health complications, including stomach distension, internal organ damage, and potentially death due to overwhelming stress of your digestive system.
Good Lord.
Yeah, because I've always hear stories of people like rupturing their stomach from like overeating.
Yeah. So this person I'm looking at, because it looks like there's more than one. There's this woman, Sonia Thomas. This is hilarious. So she's known as part of the leader of the 4 horsemen of the esophagus. That's fucking hilarious.
That's great. That wording.
Yeah, I mean, she's got a couple feats here. There's actually a few. What the fuck? Where's hers? So I guess she beat, and I guess they had a hamburger contest at the Nations. Oh no, when was this? Doesn't say, but she.
You said you talking about Sonia Thomas?
Yeah.
Okay,
so she ate 56 burgers. 67. Yeah, that's wild.
So you're probably talking about the active consumption rate is like a measurement that they have of how much fresh matter can be consumed at a given time, and her active consumption rate was 832 grams per minute. So, but there's still a limit on that. That you can't eat that much in perpetuity, because like eventually you'll get full. Like how much is 832 grams? Hold on.
For 10 minutes. Apparently these are 10-minute contests, I guess. This is wild shit.
Pounds.
This one's 12 minutes.
That's like 1.8 pounds. So yeah, per minute, and there's 10 minutes. That's a lot of fucking food.
A lot of food.
Yeah, but it's nowhere near 3 times her.
Maybe it was 3 times the average.
Maybe it was 3 times the average. Yeah. I read it, but
then.
Oh my god.
I watched. I was just checking out the chats, and Papa Bear had talked about liver shots sucked, and I watched a video earlier of an MMA fighter getting hit in the fucking liver, and I remember there was another video I watched where they talked about how like what happens when you get punched in your liver, and basically your liver releases all the fucking toxins that's stored inside of it, and your body just fucking shuts down.
Yeah,
and it's like super fucking painful. And one thing I don't understand with MMA fighting, like once a person fucking goes down, like why does the other person have to like just jump on them and start fucking beating down on them? Like You're down.
No, it's because sometimes they're not.
I know I can get back up.
So you're supposed to in MMA, you're supposed to fight until the referee pulls you off, or they verbally or physically tap. So that's the thing. Some people take it a little too far. Some folks, they're you know, like if you look at one really good example is Khalil Roundtree. He hit goddamn, I forget his fucking name now. I can see his face in my mind. Anthony Smith. He punched him, and the guy went and like, you know, he did the chicken dance, fell over, and he was obviously like out of it. And Khalil Roundtree raised his hand up and was gonna like punch him. He slow walked him when he's on the ground to go hammer fist him, and he waited until the ref pulled him off. He waited until the ref came in and then pulled him off. But some guys they'll just keep going. Which I understand. Like I understand both. I'm more the type that will stop before more damage is done if I think that somebody's fucked up. But there's other times where like, you know, you think somebody's messed up and they're not, and they'll get up and keep coming at you. So that's you have to kind of ride the razor's edge on that one, because you never know when somebody's actually done, and you don't want somebody to recover. But there's also times where if you keep hitting somebody, you can unknock them out. Damage. No. You can. I've seen people get. Yeah, you wake them up. So that's the other part of it. Yeah.
It's like the episode of a Family Guy where Meg is in a fight and the guy punches her and she's like ugly. He punches her again, she's like beautiful. And he punches her again, she's ugly again. You punch her again and she's fucking beautiful. It's like you're basically doing that.
Yeah. So I mean, you know, fighting's fucking weird, man. So
I'm still stuck on these like competitive eaters, and there's like some really odd stats and some very like these people should be dead based on. But they work out like 5 times a week in order to compete. They have weird eating habits, like they'll fast fairly often and drink certain. Yeah, it's very weird.
Then Mike Phelps had like a crazy eating regimen.
Recommendation? Oh, regimen.
Regimen.
Yeah, this one. So I'm looking at this one girl. She has a Guinness World Record title for eating the most chicken nuggets in a minute. She ate 19 in 1 minute. 19. You know, have you ever had 20-piece chicken nuggets from McDonald's? You ever try eating the whole thing? I was sick by like number 10. I was sick. That's fucking crazy. She has this other world record where she ate a burrito in 32.35 seconds. So I guess how big was the burrito though? Actually, I wouldn't be surprised if it was a very large burrito.
Yeah, usually those burrito challenges are like 2-pound burritos where they have like at least like 2 or 3 tortillas like being used to form the fucking burrito.
This woman has 18 Guinness World Record titles for eating. That's insane.
My eating regimen was 10,000 calories a day.
That's a lot. Holy shit.
What are you talking about?
I'm trying to think. Michael Phelps, what his eating regimen was.
I mean, The Rock has pretty high. The Rock has a pretty high.
Yeah, I'm about to say, doesn't The Rock have 9,000 or something like that?
Yeah.
That's per day. Like that's a lot.
But I want to see like what did he eat. Like I want to know like what's the weight. It probably still isn't 3 times his weight because that's.
No, well, it can't be. Like I said, literally, you cannot even. If you ate half your weight, you'd probably fucking die. Like that's so much food.
I can eat 3 times my weight probably in a month.
Hold on. So I think maybe a baby could probably consume more weight than like an average an adult person.
Adult, yeah.
Yeah, but a whole ass adult cannot eat anywhere near their fucking weight.
Actually, I don't even think a baby can, because I mean, because they're mainly just drinking milk, and like I'm thinking of my son, because he would drink like a couple of ounces per session, probably like 6 ounces or so, 6 to 8 ounces.
Well, I was thinking about like relative to like their actual weight. So like, you know, when Sebi was born, he was probably like what, 6-7 pounds.
Yeah,
and he's drinking like what, like probably 4 to 5 bottles of milk, maybe.
Yeah, like
some sort of milk.
6 to 8 ounces.
I don't know how much that is in pounds, but yeah, it's like it's got to be at least a seventh of his weight, right?
Yeah, because it's a pound is 16 ounces. So
yeah, I mean that's like it's a
probably make third of his weight.
Yeah, it'll get close to his weight.
I see. Yeah, I see what you mean. Like, babies do probably consume more food than the average adult does.
But they have to because they're growing so fast at the time, you know. But
they're
whole ass adults that we ain't fucking growing, so we're not burning calories like that. Like nobody's like, you know, eating 7 pounds of food and then running. You know what I mean? Because that's basically what babies are doing when they're growing. Like they're burning all those calories through just growing.
And hold on,
adults they're not growing anymore.
As adults, I mean, we are growing. We're just not growing up. We're going out.
I'm not growing out. Well, I've been steady weight for the past fucking 7 years. I'm just saying, almost 8 years.
Just like Garfield's little round globe belly. Like, so that's the way you grow. You're going out, not up.
Yeah, that's why babies are always constantly shitting and pissing because it's like, you know, they get rid of all that food like so fast, but we're not babies. So
it's all the stuff their body did absorb in time.
Oh man, I don't miss those days.
Man, I'm so glad he's getting used to like pooping in those because when he would go in his diaper, like we would just like because it was regular poop at this point in time.
Yeah,
and like we just like roll it into the toilet, so you just flush it down.
Yeah.
You can ball it up, but then like what are you gonna do with that? Just flush down the toilet.
You know, diaper genie,
those little balls.
Yeah.
Oh, we have a diaper genie, but like, that's a full poop. It's not the same as
all of a sudden your diaper genie's like fucking 10 pounds pulling it out. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah. But because the toilet's right there and the diaper genie's there. The diaper would go into the diaper genie, but the poop would go into the toilet.
Yeah.
But they would clog the toilet. Like they were so.
All right, that was gross. Sorry, y'all.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Where you guys want to go now? Should we talk about Train Your Dragon stuff, the whole info war, or should we do some little Dan?
Goddamn, Dan is depressing. I need to grab another drink before we talk about Dan. Because holy shit, that's in my feels.
I haven't seen any of this shit. It's funny because it's on Netflix. It's on, I think, everything.
You just need to fucking just watch it.
It's on Disney Plus. Like you can literally watch it on Disney Plus because it's part of Hulu.
It's part of Hulu. I was just about to say. So it's like I said, it's fucking everywhere. I haven't seen any of it, but now that it's going out, I can literally catch up in like a weekend.
So
want to talk about Venom? Because I feel like,
oh my god,
you're the only one to watch Venom, right? Because I haven't.
I saw Venom.
All right, go ahead. I'm gonna grab a drink. I love Venom.
Okay. Did you see this too, Blue?
I haven't seen Venom. I kind of don't plan on watching it because the first Venom just left a really bad taste in my mouth, and the second one just took a dump in my mouth. So I was like, I'm not gonna watch this one either.
Well, did you see the second one?
Yeah, it was what could happen?
Let There Be Carnage.
Yeah. I watched it. Yeah. Wait, did I watch it?
The one with Woody Harrelson.
You know what? I did not watch the second one. The first one just ruined it all for me. Yeah, I haven't watched the second one. Was the second one good?
Second one's
compared to the first one. Okay.
First one's better, 100%.
Okay.
So, yeah, and this one just follows that trend. I mean, Venom let the Last Dance. So I saw it 2 days ago. And it's just like it's just weird because like so it features Null, right? And that's like the first person you see in the film, and then like they don't really give too much backstory. They just say like, you know, he's trapped on some world and like he needs a codex to get out. And so he sends these little minions or whatever. They look like the creatures from what's the movie with Chris Pratt and Yvonne Strahovski? Is it the Tomorrow War? It looks like those creatures. Except they don't really have eyes. And so he sends them out across the universe, and you know they're looking. And it's also funny because when we see Eddie Brock, he is at the end of I guess Spider-Man No Way Home, where he's stuck in the MCU.
He teleports there, right? Because the whole
he's in a bar. Yeah, he teleports. He's in a bar, and he's literally talking about Thanos because he's asking the bartender about, you know, purple alien and these stones that he's about. He's like trying to tell the guys, oh no, aliens don't give a shit about stones, and And he's like, dude, he like the purple guy, he made my family disappear for 5 years. He's all, dude, that's weird. He's all, aliens like eating brains. You don't give a shit about that stuff. Then the portal opens up and sucks him back into his universe where he was. And then like, I guess Venom kind of actually he's kind of laissez-faire about shit. Like he doesn't give a shit, and it's like a lot of the movie is full of like filler, and there's like a couple of plot points in the movie that moves it along. Where basically Venom is the one that has the codex that locked away Null, and they're trying to find it, and the only one to see, the only time his little I don't know what the Sentinels, I guess. The only way they see them is when a symbiote is in their full form, and like, it's like okay, that's kind of cool. But then like the movie's kind of like sidelined by like these in between voyages, I guess, like traveling shit. Because like they're trying to get to New York because they want to see the Statue of Liberty, referring to Eddie and Venom, and then like the Sentinel comes and tries to fucking kill them. And so Venom gets spooked, and he's like, "Oh, like Null can't be released. We put him there for a reason." So like when he's going up there, he's on a plane. He doesn't buy a seat, so he attaches to the side of a plane, and like you're like, "What the fuck's going on? Why don't you just buy a ticket? Like that's not that hard." Well, I guess because they're fugitives, but it doesn't seem like they are. But it's just like
also, I mean, like, if it's free, why not?
Yeah, I guess, but like, there's a part where he meets a family on foot in like, I guess they're like in between because it starts in San Francisco. He's like on his way to Vegas or whatever, and they're trying to get to San Francisco. And he meets like the guy. He plays like I think he's Otto Hightower in House of the Dragon. It's like him and his family. They're super hippies, and they want to see Area 51. So on the way there, they fucking have a sing along, and then this is like a fucking 8-minute fucking scene where they're singing and shit. I'm like, what the fuck? What's happening right now? They're singing. It's funny to me because they're singing Major Tom. Because to me, Major Tom normally isn't a campfire song. But like, as much as I'm talking about it, it seems inconsequential. But it feels that way in the movie too. Like, what the fuck does this have to do? I mean, I guess they kind of bond with the family, sort of. But it's literally like 8 minutes of them singing. And like, yeah, he's talking to Venom on the way or whatever. But it's just kind of weird. And they go to Area 51. There's other symbionts held there. I guess like they've been collecting symbionts across the planet or some shit. They hold them at Area 51 underground, and like the symbionts, the symbiote from Let There Be Carnage. I guess his name's Toxin in the comics. He connected to the police officer in that film, and so he's like freaking out because he's underground, and he's like, "Well, Null is like looking for us, and one's getting close," and he kind of tells the humans what to do and what to expect. Basically, he's gonna wipe them all out, but does say how? I guess it doesn't matter. And then like the Sentinels are looking for all the symbionts. They find them. They start like chewing them up and shit. And so like Venom basically kind of sacrifices himself, sort of. But it's just like at the end of the movie, I just like didn't care. Like I didn't care for all the singing. There's like a dance number in the movie. Like what the fuck?
I feel like they're doing like that. They went kind of Joker. You know, the Folie à Deux or whatever the last one was.
Maybe I haven't seen Joker Folie à Deux, but I don't know. There's just kind of weird because like, so the lady who's in all three films is Mrs. Chen. They're like landlord or whatever. They see her in Vegas, and like Venom's all happy to see her because he really likes her. So he's like, "Oh, we should dance." Oh yeah, so like, we should dance. So they have like a little dance number. I'm like, "What the fuck is this shit? Like, this fucking stupid. It was stupid." Like I don't know. The movie was just kind of like. If you have a desire to see this film, severely wait for streaming. Like I know it's available for streaming now. It's like $25 or some shit to rent it. Wait till that shit's like fully streaming on fucking
Netflix. It's free. Wait till I pay for it.
Like it's like your $14.99, or if you got it with your mobile carrier, you got it for free. Just wait till then. I don't recommend spending money watching this movie. Like it has great special effects, great action scenes, but actually story and plot is very lacking. Like, there's a lot of, like, filler stuff between the good stuff. Like, when it has plot and stuff, it's actually pretty solid. But in between the plot, like, scene to actually move the story along, it's just bullshit in between. It's like, what the fuck? Like, I spent money to watch this, and it's just like, it's kind of weird. It's kind of like, I feel like they laid a little bit too much into the comedy, a little bit, and it's not really that funny. But I don't know. The one thing I will say though, this is definitely props on Tom Hardy because he spends a lot of time talking to himself. Obviously, like behind the scenes, even though he's talking to Venom, he like has great reaction and great like rapport with like someone who's not even fucking there. It's basically CGI. He pulls that off very well. But just like the story as a whole was very, very lackluster. The graphics were great. Like there's really cool simians that you see, but we don't get names, we don't get backstory. They just come in and do cool shit, and then like some of them die. The ones that survive, you don't know shit about them. Like I know what was the King in Black storyline? Like you see some of the characters from there, but you don't know shit about them. If you didn't know that it came from a comic, you wouldn't know shit about the movie. You wouldn't even know who Null is. That's very weird. It's kind of interesting. They got Andy Serkis to be the voice of Null. I think he might mocap them. Actually, no. He's all CGI. Never mind. He's just a voice. And Andy Serkis directed Let There Be Carnage, which is also kind of weird. But
I think something I just saw. I mean, it makes sense that it happens, but oh god, the name just slowly slipped my mind. The actor that plays Eddie Brock also does
Tom
the voice
Hardy.
of Venom.
Tom
Hardy, yeah. He also does the voice of Venom. For some reason, I don't know why I thought they were two separate voices or like a different voice actor does the voice of Venom, but it's Tom Hardy doing the voice of Venom as well. Hardy.
Even more kudos to his acting, like credit to his craft. Like he really sells it. But the problem is he's a good actor in a bad movie. So
it would be funny if he does like his Bane version of Venom, like you might have been born in the darkness, but I'm fine. I can't even how they sound. But I'm looking at the box office numbers, and Venom, their budget was 116 million, and worldwide they made 856 million, which is that's really
good. Yeah, I mean it's getting close to $1 billion, right?
For the first one. The second one, same budget. Well, let's look at opening weekend because I feel that's kind of more important because, I mean, Venom came out in 2018. For them to get to that 800
I feel like Venom would do better overseas, to be honest with you.
Yeah, because domestically, okay, let's look at we'll look at the domestic numbers. So for Venom 1, the budget was 116 million. They only made 213 million, which is they almost double their money. Venom 2, it was 110 million for a budget, and they only made 213. So you're
talking about domestic, right?
Domestic, yeah. They basically, it's them. They're the same. Yeah, they're like.
But internationally, they'll make way more.
They made 500 million.
Yeah,
which is a huge drop from the 800 million. And Venom Last Dance, 110 million for the production budget, and for domestic they made only 128. So they're barely making their money back. And then worldwide, it's 437 million. So they are making a profit, but
I mean they're making their money back because Venom's a popular character. However, it's not that good of a movie. I barely thought the first one to me was just barely scraping by. The second one I watched because of Woody Harrelson because he's amazing, and like he was wasted in that film. He was severely wasted. So and they wasted the character too.
So as you were talking about, waiting for it to come on streaming, and I was going to make a joke about waiting for it to get on Limewire because then you can get computer aids while you got it. So I decided to look up like what's going on with Limewire, and it's a AI chatbot now.
Oh shit! Is it really?
Yeah. I go to limewire.com and I was just like, holy shit! All right.
Yeah, I think AI Limewire probably has a lot of info on me.
It's an AI studio. They can make free AI art for you.
Free? All right.
Yeah. So it's a chat assistant, bot, AI, whatever. So there you go.
That's cool. I like to see that they went from giving your computer A's to taking over your fucking computer.
That's the name of the podcast. LimeWire doesn't give you computer aids anymore.
That's terrible.
But the first Venom movie, I love that it was filmed in San Francisco, which is the reason why I wanted to watch it. But because the whole, I know if Prodigy was here, he would have talked about how like yeah, Venom. You can't have Venom without Spider-Man, which is true. You can't have Venom without Spider-Man, but they did a pretty good job with it. But then like the whole CEO with the space X thing and like the whole
where he's
aliens and
right.
that stuff like that.
Yeah,
like that took me out of the movie. Like if that was like, I wish Venom would have been doing like I don't know. It was almost like E.T. Like it was an alien that came to Earth that was running away from the government, trying to get back home or whatever. I don't know. It just didn't fit. It just didn't work for me for the whole Venom franchise.
Yeah, this one's just kind of weird because I'm like, why didn't know? I don't know how far along Null sent like seekers to go find his. He calls them his children, and like they're all talking about how old he is. Like he's older than time itself and all this shit. And like they don't talk about what he did and why they didn't imprison him or any of that shit. But hopefully Sony lets Disney Marvel pick that character up and like do him proper justice, because he just sat there in this weird chair and this weird lock like the majority of the movie.
Well, I mean,
you don't get anything about him. You don't know shit about him.
Well, I mean, Null in the comics, he spanned like multiple. He was like basically like a Thanos level villain. So
in
this
movie, he's not. In this movie, he's not. And I guess they could fix that.
No, I mean, hold on, Ninja. God, rewind the tape, man. So when they first introduced Thanos, like he was just the same exact thing. Like it just showed a picture of him on a throne.
Mm-hmm.
And then they like led up to Thanos. But like when they first introduced Thanos, he was not like. They didn't make it seem like he was like a real threat until he fucking snapped and half the universe was gone. But that took like multiple movies.
Yeah, and I'm hoping that this is just his first appearance and we see more of him later. If not, they wasted him. So.
Well, I mean, I think it's a possible bridge. This is me being hopeful. A possible bridge to the MCU to bring the Spider-Verse into the MCU. Besides just Spider-Man.
I mean, they kind of played on it with the whole No Way Home, where Venom was snapped into Tom Holland's Spider-Man's universe, and he left like a piece of the symbiote, and even the symbiote knew that Parker Spider-Man because like he looked at the TV screen or some weird shit like that. But I mean, it's the formula is there. It's just that like I don't know. I don't know how it's all gonna work together.
Yeah, it's also weird because when in the beginning of the movie, where Eddie Brock is in the bar, when he gets pulled back, he's in the same bar with the same version of the character, but he's like different. He looks more rugged, or like time has fucked him up. He has like longer hair. He looks all like fucked up or whatever. So probably we'll see him in the MCU. Not the bartender, but like Null and some of these other characters. We still got another, I guess they call it Venomverse movie coming up literally next month with Craven. So we'll see how that goes.
Oh, Craven. Okay, gotcha. Yeah. That one looks pretty looks interesting. So
yeah. Okay, so kind of going back to the Baylon podcast, we were talking about like old fashioned, and Kronos had mentioned how.
Did you look up hand jobs, Blue? Did you look up hand jobs?
I did, and the content that came up wasn't. I should have had my
safe search
laptop in discreet mode or
it's all bad.
incognito.
Incognito mode.
It should have been incognito mode.
Oh yeah.
But so I was doing, like I looked it up and I kind of moved away from it, but I actually went back to go I was like, oh yeah, what was I looking up? And the old fashioned thing originated with South Park. Yeah, South Park was the one that originated, and like I went back to watch the video clip, and it's with okay, I can't remember which character it is. If it's Cal or Stan, it's Cal, the one with the blue beanie with the red ball on the top. But yeah, like the
dad.
Yeah, the dad is like the mom and dad goes off to the room, and he's talking about how he's all stressed out, and she's like, oh, I know I could try something. And like, oh, you give me that old fashioned. Like,
yep.
So yeah, the whole old fashioned hand job thing is it probably originated from South Park.
So yes, it does mean a hand job or a handy J.
Handy J,
I'm just saying.
But yeah, don't if
That's
you look
wild.
up old fashioned and hand jobs, you might not like what you get.
Wow.
Put it there.
That's some wild shit.
There's a lot of old fashioned that shows up.
Old people.
Yeah.
Like, what?
With the full bush.
Oh, man. With the hippie bush?
Yeah.
Damn.
That was a thing.
Mm.
Oh, wait a minute. Somebody did something. There was a noise that happened just now. Somebody
no
donated
noise on my
or
end.
something. Oh, we got a subscriber. So thank
Oh, there you
you, Arc Gaming Live, for subscribing. We appreciate it.
Oh, nice.
Maybe just me. No, it's all of us. We all appreciate it.
I didn't know that was a thing. I thought we only got like bling bling before we get money.
He's all, maybe it's just me.
It's when we get I guess it's when we get subs
love
or super chats. It's the same noise, so I have to like look. So thank you.
Mhm.
Oh, cool.
Honestly,
Thanks for subscribing.
I have to say it's been sort of a journey with YouTube Shorts has been kind of weird. So supposedly YouTube Shorts, I'm going to go somewhere here. Don't worry. YouTube Shorts is supposed to be like up to 3 minutes with the videos, but it's really not. They're like uploading videos into Shorts has been really weird for this channel for some reason. The vast majority of the Shorts that I've uploaded has been less than a minute, but even then sometimes they don't upload them as Shorts, which is weird. I want to get the 3 minute long ones, so I'm doing just a minute long ones for Shorts, but we've gotten like a lot more content because of that, a lot more viewers because of the Shorts. Yeah, because like a YouTube short video does so much better than any other video on YouTube. Like it's insane. It's not as good as like. Actually, no, it is. It's better than the actual audio version of the podcast of a short video, because like we get I would say we probably get like 50 times more views on a single short than we do on like the live stream.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's
crazy.
We're in the age of the ADHD kids, so yeah. A minute short grabs their attention and then they move on to something else.
Well, I know that like the platform probably will be going away pretty soon, but like I was thinking like we should create a TikTok, or I can't remember I think Bluebird's the next one, or I know Bluebird.
Oh, Bluebird's a new one. I guess I just heard about that. I heard Bluebird is a newness.
No, Bluebird is a new Twitter.
Yeah.
Bro, no. God damn it. You're about to get so many people angry. It's Blue Sky, and we're already on
Blue
there.
Sky.
That's
what it is.
Hold on.
Like, I don't,
just for those of you who is it Bluebird? So Bluebird is actually a compiler for those who don't know. So, and it's free.
Yes. So Blue Sky, one of our, I want to say Scribe. He's an artist. He got us on. He gave us an invite to Blue Sky a while back. So thank you. We're already on there. I was going to discuss it with everybody else on the podcast about leaving X. Because if y'all didn't know, there's a mass exodus for X because of some recent. So apparently there's a new terms of service with X. So if you post anything on X, it can be used in AI and kind of like without permission, because I didn't really agree to this. They're just like kind of going back in time and redoing their terms of service to make it seem like this is all okay. But I don't like the fact that AI can be used to like use any of our content without our permission, kind of like retroactively. So I would like to leave Twitter. I don't know if y'all are fine with, because
I'm down. I'm like one toe out the door with my Twitter. Like I mean, in our group chat, I posted how to delete, like completely delete your, because you can't just cancel your subscription, or not subscription, but in your usership, or cancel your usership. Like there's a lot of stuff you have to do in the back end, like delete your old data and this and that, and like actually delete your passwords too, because if you go onto, like, say if somebody sends you a link to Twitter and you click on it and it takes you to like your browser on your phone or whatever, and you have like your password saved in there, it will log you back into Twitter and it will reactivate your account. So there's a bunch of different things you need to do to get rid of Twitter, basically, or X, or where the fuck you call it.
Twitter X.
Yeah. But no, like I'll kind of jump back to the shorts. Like, yeah, I know. I think it's called Lemonade. It's for the TikTok equivalent that's going to be coming out soon once Twitter's gone. But
you mean once TikTok is gone?
Yeah, once TikTok's gone.
TikTok's on the chopping block.
Yeah, but TikTok, this is already it's almost like the fucking Matrix with TikTok, because this is their probably like I think like third iteration. Because it used to be called like Musically, and then before that it was something else.
No, so hold on. So before TikTok was something else, because it's called something else in China. It's called TikTok in America, and then TikTok bought Musically to get music rights, because Musically had music rights. That's how you got all the music shit on TikTok. So, more complete story.
Gotcha. Okay, I thought Musically was. I mean, I remember them being acquired, but I thought they grew into being TikTok. But yeah, I mean, like we should probably create an account on TikTok and just post the shorts on there as well.
Well, I mean, we already have a TikTok. Actually, do we? I do. I don't know if we do.
I don't know.
I do. I have my own personal one.
I don't know if we do as a whole. I mean, I guess we can.
I'm pretty sure we do. So, yeah.
Sure. But before we do a mass exodus of a Twitter X, I guess we should all be, because there's also something else. Even though Prodigy's not here, I'm gonna probably wait till 2 weeks to talk about it. So, yeah, because I was hoping to bring it, because I know I'm not gonna wait for Stitch to be here, but he'll hear about it later. But about to announce something kind of cool in the next 2 weeks. So,
you about to have a kid?
No, that's no.
You got the pussy. No,
I mean, wow.
Oh, I guess we don't have TikTok. It's personal TikTok. Yeah, we can hop on there and do that.
Okay, right, so we're switching it up. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna wait till I'm gonna wait until Prodigy is back on the podcast before I announce some big stuff for the podcast. So I'm pretty sure you guys will love it, and I know you guys are probably forgotten about it and bringing it back. So I think big announcements.
I think I know what you're talking about, because I was thinking about that earlier today too. I was like, you know, we haven't had one in a while, so we need to bring it back. So,
well, we'll talk about it live in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
2 weeks it'll be live, and it'll be great. It's gonna be great. You guys don't know
if it's what you're thinking. If it's what you've been talking. If it's what you're talking about, it's something that we haven't had on this podcast since the pandemic.
Been a while.
Yeah, and I was like, literally, I was driving to work today. I was like, you know what? We haven't had it in a while. We need to bring that back. In a while.
Yeah, when we're running, don't worry. All will be revealed in 2 weeks. So those of you who are new, you're gonna see a side of us that we used to do quite often, and yeah, just stay tuned 2 weeks. For those of you who have been with us, thank you. We're bringing something. It's back. I'm pretty sure the fans will love it. Everyone should love it. It's gonna be great. So just stay tuned. That'll be what, the 1st or the 2nd or whatever of December. Big enough. So there you go. So
all
yeah,
right, Cronus stepped away. I'm like,
bring in your boy. Talk about How to Train Your Dragon. Get it going.
Oh,
yeah, that shit was crazy.
I'm a big fan of How to Train Your Dragon. I love the film franchise. Like I watch. Actually, I mean, I'm a huge fan.
I'm gonna grab a drink, but keep going.
Yeah. So I'm a huge fan of the franchise, How to Train Your Dragon by DreamWorks. I'm a huge fan, but I've honestly never watched it in theater. Like it's always been like on video, whatever. But like, yeah, with the whole How to Train Your Dragon franchise, it's really good, because you got like a kid who's an underdog, and his dad doesn't respect him and stuff like that, and he's like this whole Viking universe, and he learns how to train a dragon basically. And you know, Toothless is like an adorable dragon who's like a badass dragon that's like a legendary dragon, all these different things. And then like I think there's like 4 animated movies.
Yeah, it's up there. Yeah,
it's up there, and you know, it's there's like a love story. There's like a love story behind it. There's like trust and like there's a lot of emotions going on with this franchise. And I did not see this in the future. Like this was not on my 2024 crystal ball. that they were making a live action version of it. Like this just came out of fucking nowhere, like left field. Did you know about them making a live action?
Yeah, well, I heard about like maybe some like rumors about it, but then I didn't think it was real. But apparently, but it is real. I mean, they're really making a live action. Well, hold on. Let me give some quotes. It's live action. All right, there's no fucking real dragons in the in the movie, obviously. But
yeah, there is. What are you talking about?
Yeah, well, I'll get back to some of that in a minute. But yeah, I didn't know they're gonna do a live action version of it, which I'm like, it's cool, I guess. I mean, I love the movies. So
yeah,
and actually, there's movies and there's a TV show as well. Yeah, I'll probably check it out with my youngest because my oldest we watched it together, like the originals. So yeah, I'll check it out. But the controversy with
how like
well,
I haven't gotten there yet. So I was just talking about how like the trailer dropped today, and we got like little scenes of like of Hiccup meeting Toothless, and like I've seen videos of people comparing like the animated movie with like the trailer version, and it's not 1-to-1, but it's like damn near close. And Kronos had dropped this in our group chat. I was like, wait, they're making a movie of this? But I watched the trailer. I was like, whoa, this looks like it's gonna be really good. Like I really want it to be good. But then as I was scrolling through like different social media platforms, there was a lot of fucking hate coming for this movie, and it made no fucking kind of sense. There's a lot of controversy with this movie already for a quick 1 minute 36-second trailer.
Yeah.
Like it's fucking ridiculous. Like I guess it may come down to some of the characters are black.
Well, at least one of them is black. I think it's Astrid, right?
Well, I thought the twins are black too.
Are they? Okay, so I don't know, but I know that Astrid is. I hate to say that. Okay,
she's definitely mixed.
So let me. Okay, that's what I was gonna say. I want to try and address colorism first. All right, if you're a mixed person in America and you're black, like you're still considered black to like most people.
Wait. I'm gonna say it. We've heard it on this podcast. This is actually from a person I know. And I've said it at least 3 times this year. But less than black is still black.
Yes, you're still black. Okay. I want to preface that about what I'm going to say. The actress that is playing Astrid is the lightest fucking skinned black person. So, like, and that's not, I don't want to diminish her blackness. I'm just saying that she is not.
No.
I mean, I'm light skinned, you know?
She's a beautiful young lady.
She is. Is that, is it Zoe Saldana's daughter?
No, she is Nico Parker. She is,
she was in,
She's in The Last of Us.
Yeah, The Last of Us.
Action.
Yeah.
So she is also the daughter of Sandy Newton.
Danny Newton. Okay, that's yeah.
She looks exactly like her mother.
Yes, she does. So she is as light a black person as you can get. Oh, pretty much. People are still mad. And I want to remind everybody that want to say, oh, there were no black Vikings. Motherfucker, there was no dragons during the Vikings times either, because dragons don't exist. So shut the fuck up. Like it's a fantasy world. Black people can exist in fantasy worlds. Listen, if Gods of Egypt had white people in it, then How to Train Your Dragon can have some black folks in it. So just please stop it with your fake bullshit outrage, because people are still going to watch the movie. If you don't want to watch it, whatever. Yeah. You're probably a whole ass adult that's not going to watch it, which it doesn't matter. It's not for your you're not in the target audience. And if you teach your kids not to watch it, then you're just teaching your kids racism. So thanks, asshole.
Yeah, I want to address this particularly because there is a particular Twitter X user who's gotten literally millions of views and responses because she has been very, very adamant about how Nico Parker should not be in this movie, and because it's mainly because she is black, and she's just like, well, there were no black Vikings, this is blackwashing like history, and we're like, well, people have told her, well, in history, there's no fucking dragon. She's all, I know, but Vikings should be white. There shouldn't be any dark skinned people. And she literally posted 2 videos that doubled down, and she pointed out one part, I guess, comparison. She says that if Tiana from Princess and the Frog was a white person, people would be upset.
she was white.
I've never seen Princess and the Frog. So I have no idea about Tiana.
So Princess and the Frog is based off of a book, and Disney made her black. But
did they change the setting to the Bayou?
Well, yeah, like Princess and the Frog is like I gotta look and see what the original story where it is from. But Disney added a twist to it to add it into the fucking Bayou and made Tiana black. Like this person does not fucking know. Like, holy shit.
This was her comparison. I think she could add this to more blackwashing. However, her comparison is off because Astrid is not the main character. Hiccup is the main character. Astrid's just a supporting character. And the fact that her and other people keep talking about if Black Panther was a white guy, that's usually the counter.
The go-to.
Like,
yeah,
that's usually the go-to. But it's like, well, Black Panther is set in Africa and is the king of an African nation. And yes, there is South Africa, but this is Wakanda is a made-up area. His blackness is inherently tied to his character, and Black Panther again is the main character of his story. And with the story, with How to Train Your Dragon, Hiccup is the main character. He is the main. It's him and Toothless.
Their
relationship.
I don't give a fuck. Go ahead.
Jump back to the Prince and the Frog. That is one of the Brothers Grimm story, which is a German tale.
It's a Grimm fairy tale?
Yeah, well, the Grimm the Grimm version is called the Frog Prince or the Iron Henry, but it's a German story, and German people are Caucasian, so yeah, Disney made her black, but
so just so we're clear, there are black people in Germany. Just FYI.
Yeah, that's true,
but not back when the Brothers Grimm were writing books. I'm just saying, it's still whatever. People just they get so caught up only when it's black folks.
They sure do. It's funny because they complain so much talking about how their history is being erased, and I'm just like, what the fuck?
Dragons were not in your history. There was never a time where some white kid trained a fucking dragon to go fight more dragons with his friends. This did not exist. So please, you're literally constructing a new form of racism in fantasy worlds where it didn't exist. Like, this is why I get mad about when they get pissed off about like Lord of the Rings or some blah 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 where they have like black people in it. It's like, there's no fucking elves, there's no orcs, there's no dragons, there's no fucking dwarves. Like, none of those things exist. Yeah, no problem with that. But all of a sudden, somebody has some extra melanin. Oh, they couldn't have possibly existed because apparently fantasy worlds are only for white people. Like, do you understand? There's a whole like folklore with black folks too. Like, we have our own gods and our own fantasy worlds and shit like that too. Like, I mean, come on.
Yeah, not only that, I think people seem to forget because 100% disclosure. None of you motherfuckers were alive during that time. Neither were we.
Well, you couldn't have been alive during that time because these are fantasy worlds and they didn't actually fucking exist.
That's true. That's true as well. And people from Africa, the Middle East, they could easily travel to Europe, or at least to Germany and what used to be Transylvania and these other European countries. They could literally travel by horseback and easily get there. It's not like they didn't have means of travel. In fact, these people traded with each other. People seem to negate that or forget that or whatever. I have no idea. But this is almost as bad. Like Corona said, the whole Lord of the Rings thing, oh my God. The backlash for that was fucking crazy. I literally read a guy. He was a conservative author. He said the fact that there were black elves and black dwarves, it took him out of the story. I'm like, dude, there's fucking orcs and shit, and fucking orcs don't exist, and fucking elves don't fucking exist, but yet that they're black, all of a sudden that takes you out of it. And he kept saying this fucked with like European history because this is part of their history, and like, dude, it's fucking fantasy shit. Like you're fine with purple fucking elves and shit, and people with fucking 3 sets of titties, but all of a sudden they're black, and now it takes you out. That makes no sense. No sense.
Yeah, I mean, there's I don't want to be an asshole, but there's more black people than little people in real life.
I mean,
I'm just saying.
It's just really weird. But
no
anyway,
hate, no hate on little people. I'm just saying.
No, just to bring it back to the Twitter person. She goes by like Disney. I think she's like a Disney Molly or Molly Disney or something like that. But she doubles down. She posted 2 videos talking about how, Asher shouldn't be black, and she understands that it's fake and shit, but Vikings were white people, and there shouldn't be any black people, and Disney fucked us, and our history being erased, and all this other shit. And I'm like, dude, what the? And she's all,
our history,
you people,
our history of dragons.
Yeah,
we definitely trade those dragons.
She totally just doubled down. I'm like, dude, but the thing is, people keep talking about how racist, like, her uniform racist, but no one fights the fact that there's been numerous times where someone who's been black and they've been completely erased in history. So I'll give you just like 1 or 2 examples. I'll give you 2 examples. Actually, 3. I'll give you 3. So my first example is there's a movie with Kevin Spacey, Helen Hunt, and Haley Joel Osment. The movie was called Pay It Forward. This movie was up for Academy Awards. I think it won a few. The movie is based off a book. Kevin Spacey plays the lead male character from the book. The lead male character in the book is black. He's an African American teacher, but they recasted him, and very few people had outrage. There were people that asked the producers, and they're like, "Well, he auditioned, and they felt like he was right for the role." I'm like, okay, but like there was no real outrage for that. No one fucking was burning shit down and like, having online rants and shit. What was the other one? Oh, also, we talked about it earlier, Gods of Egypt. We talked about Gods of Egypt, like, who's in it? Fucking Christian Bale. I think Christian Bale's in this, and Sean Bean, a bunch of white guys, a bunch of Europeans playing African gods. And Chadwick Boseman is in the movie as well. It's kind of funny. But still, this is like all make-believe and whatnot. They're all supposed to be deities, but this is most of the gods were white people.
Any movie based on the Bible that was American made has the wrong colored skin tone in it. You might say, "Oh, they weren't black," but they definitely were not Caucasian.
White.
They weren't like.
Like I was gonna say, like, after you went off also the third story, I was like, you also forgot the most important one is the Bible, because Jesus. People don't want to say it, but like, yeah, the Bible says that he had like skin of bronze and hair of wool. So, which if that doesn't define a black person, I don't know what does.
I mean, he was definitely a brown skinned person for sure.
He was a person that had melanin.
For sure. I mean, it's hot out in the Middle East, so yeah.
Yeah, like, you gotta fucking survive.
Another character which has been played for centuries, literal centuries, it's a Shakespearean play, Othello. How many times has there been a white actor who has played Othello, but yet darkened their skin with like shoe polish or some bullshit to play the title of Othello? Othello has been traditionally played by white men up until like probably the 90s. Like, I know there's a version where Lawrence Fishburne, he plays Othello, and I guess the golden age of Hollywood, Laurence Olivier, he plays Othello. He's a white man, very, very white, and he fucking darkened his skin up to look like the black man. There was a reverse version played by Patrick Stewart. So there's a play that he was Othello, but he was the only white person. The entire rest of the cast was black, and he played Othello. I thought that was pretty interesting, pretty cool. And apparently he won some. I think he won some awards for it. But it was a great premise.
This is kind of fucking me up right now. I'm actually reading the the description of Jesus in the Bible again, and I think that most folks, me included, might have misread this. So if you go to Revelations 1:14 through 15, Jesus Christ in the King James Bible, it says, describing Jesus, his head and hairs were white like wool, as white as snow. His eyes were as the flame of fire, his feet like unto fine brass, which would make him not white, as if they were burned by a furnace, and his voice was the sound of many waters. So honestly, this sounds almost like an albino person, but not really, because he was still brown. Because brass is brown, but he had white hair, so maybe he was, I don't know.
And his eyes were red.
Yeah, and his eyes were red, or at least orange like fire. So these are like very conflicting things.
Oh, maybe he did have albinism. Maybe
no, because if you're an albino, if you're albino and black, you would still albino means you're gonna missing all your melanin, so he'd still be white. He would look white.
The actor who played the villain in Black Lightning on CW, because he was black and he had albino.
That's awesome. You know what's awesome about that guy? He's a music producer. He's awesome. Yeah, he's awesome.
Well, it's weird. It says like his hairs are white like wool because, I mean, wool comes in many colors, which is kind of strange. Most people think of wool, they think of like the curliness of it. It's funny because I was gonna wear a different sweater, because I have wool sweaters, but they're a different kind of wool. They're not itchy, and they're all black. This is obviously my Yeti hoodie. So
I'm trying to confirm this information, but if you're a Harry Potter fan, if you read the books and you watched the movies franchise, Ron's love interest was a girl by the name of Lavender Brown, and in the first 2 series, she was actually a black girl, and then all of a sudden she turned white. I saw somebody posted up, and I'm trying to like follow up and see if that's true, to see who the other actors was. And
I thought she was Indian, but yeah, I could be
wrong.
No,
that was.
I think that Pavarti.
Oh, no, I was thinking.
I think so. Yeah.
I'm trying to see like if that's true or not, because I'm on the Harry Potter wiki. It doesn't say like there was another actress that played her role. But
yeah,
I kind of want to be.
So yes, I read all the Harry Potter books, and actually this brings up something I wanted to kind of segue into at some point in this podcast. Before we end, is that I really want to do the book reading club for Breathing BTI. I listened to like a lot of like shorter podcasts and like news podcasts and stuff, and apparently there has been a decline in reading in adults now, and there's been like a bunch of reasons for that. And if you're a listener to this podcast and you don't read or at least listen to books, I think you're missing out on a lot. If you're a younger listener to this podcast, I can understand more why you probably don't read for multiple reasons, which I can get into on like the first episode when we do like the reading club. But you're missing out on a lot. I think that books are awesome. Like I usually listen or read a book a week, and it's way different from like watching something, because it's all in your imagination. And it's like, and then when you see these things get picked up for like TV shows and movies, it's like, it's very weird. Because like with Harry Potter did a pretty decent job with it, but there's a book called Dungeon Crawler Carl, which is like one of my favorite books right now. They got picked up, and Seth MacFarlane is going to run the show. And
already they got picked up? Holy shit,
dude! There's fucking 7 books.
Oh, I don't know. First dive into this. I didn't do that much.
There's a lot of books.
There's a lot of them.
Okay,
but I mean, obviously, Matt Dinniman, who's the author, he not that he turns them out like quickly, but I mean, he's been at a pretty good pace, and I think that this is not going to be. It has to be like PG. Not even PG. It's got to be rated R. Like no matter who does it, because it's got to be gory. It's got to have some really fucked up shit in it. It's got to be dank. But I think reading books, having all this stuff in like your head, it really expands like your mind of like just imagining all these scenes in your brain. And there are certain things that you get with books that you cannot do in movies and even audio or anything else. Or in audio you kind of can if you like read the book, but you can get the perspective of the main character or characters in their heads in book format. It's very hard to translate that into like an audio visual form, like especially a visual form of like being in somebody's head, like what they're actually thinking, because then it becomes like kind of weird in the visual format, but in a book it works way better, and you can just imagine like what everything is happening. Like you get to be fantastical. It brings you back to like being a child and really having an imagination again, because when you're reading a book, in your head you reconstruct these scenes in your head, and so
you don't reconstruct it, you create that universe basically.
Yeah,
you're the director, like you're using your imagination to say what the main character looks like, what the female love interest looks like you're the fucking director basically. Like you're creating your own fucking universe inside your head, and that's one of the cool things about reading books, is that you get that experience basically. Yeah.
Yeah. So go ahead.
I was gonna say, well, if you, I'll save it to your, I'll save it to your done. I'm gonna add an addendum to it.
Yeah. Okay. So I just want to say, like, so if you're listening to this podcast and you don't read books, I want to start a book club so we can start reading books together, and talking about our experiences with these books. Because I have like a lot of books that I'd like to recommend, but I mean, you got to read them or listen to them or something, and like enjoy this experience with me. I'm going to go back and actually start reading and listening to books that I've already read and listened to, so we can enjoy the experience again, at least me, together. And I want to get your thoughts on these books, and it's going to be a gamut. Like I really love lit RPG novels a lot, but I also get into like some deeper shit. Like I'm really big into stuff on like mental health. One of my favorite books of all time is a book called The Body Keeps the Score. It's what started me on like my not latest, but revisiting my mental health journey. And that book changed my life. I have like a few books, probably like 5 or 6, that have changed my life. And they're not fun, but they're great books.
Like for me, like the last actual like physical book, like I actually sat down, not even sit down and read, but it was like I accidentally stumbled across this book, and like it's when the Swedes and I first got married. We our first anniversary was like, your first anniversary is like the theme is paper, and I bought her a fucking an e-reader, because that's like digital paper basically.
Yeah. And
I just stumbled across the book Infinite, and I literally sat there all fucking night and just read that goddamn book. I was so like I read the book from cover to cover. I turned around and got the audiobook just to listen to it again, and then I went back and read the book again. Like that's how invested I was for this fucking story. And then I went and got the second one when it came out, and all of a sudden I fell in love with the author. So every book this author drops, I'm there reading it. But
Jeremy Robinson,
yeah, like
that's who wrote the book, right?
Jeremy Robinson.
Shout out Jeremy Robinson. He writes really good books.
Yeah, he writes really good fucking books. And R.C.
Bray.
Okay, yeah, R.C. Bray is fucking. He is like, I can't even think of like a good actor who can portray so many fucking people. He's the Robin Williams of fucking reading stories, because Robin Williams could be a 1,000 fucking characters. Anyways, so right now as far as book reading goes, I'm trying to go back and like listen to the audiobooks of books I read as a kid. So like right now I just finished Never Ending Story, because I'm kind of doing the movie tie-ins of books.
Yeah.
So like I went back and I listened to Never Ending Story, and then I went and watched the movie again. And like the movie did a really good job of capturing there's a lot of stuff that's left out. There's what other book I'm thinking of? You mentioned it on the podcast. Something else. Three Body Problems. So right now I'm listening to Three Body Problems.
That's a great
Netflix.
One. Yeah.
Netflix is doing they're doing a show based off that book, and Netflix is doing a really good job of covering that book. So I mean, they're making changes. Like the one person, they're changing like gender. Like the main person is a male in the book, but it's a female on the show, and there's different things that's changing. I mean, obviously, the book is written by a Chinese person, so everybody's like Chinese, but in the show they're like Americans, whatever. Not.
Well, I'm glad you brought this book up because this is a really good example of like the book experience compared to like the show experience. So in the book, like just negating like all like the changes, but so in the book, the alien race in Three Body Problem, they're not described in the book, like at all.
Yeah, so far I'm I'm basing them off of what I saw from the show.
Yeah, and that's the problem because in the show they make them look like humans, which is like in the book they don't even have to address the problem because you can't see them because you're reading it. And if you leave out all descriptions, they can just make it seem like there's some like, very mysterious race. But in the show, you can't show a scene with, them talking to like another alien species. And like it just wouldn't make sense. Like there's no mystery there. You have to show something to represent this species.
They kind of yes.
They half-assed around
that
it
a little bit.
Because, but it's kind of shitty.
Yeah, because they just say like, oh yeah, like it's like it was like I was watching like a human skin floating on the water. Like they didn't really show say what the aliens look like, but just say like, oh yeah, like they said there's some skin. They just a man or woman, or they said there's women. There's man and woman in this species, and they talk about how like the women once they dehydrate, they're down for a little bit of loving.
Well, go ahead, on Ninja.
Yeah, there's a part where the guy of like the wannabe CIA or I think Interpol or whatever, he asked the projection of them or like their envoy. He says, "What do you look like?" And she said, "You won't like it." So how do you know? So just trust me, you won't like what we look like. So we picked a form that is most pleasing for you. I was like, oh shit.
Yep, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I'm at the point where everything is happening in VR basically, or like that part is even changed in the book because they don't even say VR in the book, but they don't in their VR world they describe themselves as being humans, but they haven't talked about the aliens yet. That's just inside of the Three Body Problem program that the guy keeps jumping into.
Yeah, but in the books though, they talk about how like they actually have to survive, and they definitely allude to the fact that they definitely don't have humanoid bodies because they have to the harsh environment that they have to like live in. Mm-hmm. They have to have a hardened body. I know they have an exoskeleton. And they have to like deal with like these really super harsh environments. Even in the calm periods, they still have like these very hardened bodies just in case the chaotic periods come around again and they have to like dehydrate and like go back to one, like basically back to the fucking Stone Age, which is crazy.
But Kronos, in the Netflix series, there was a bunch of nudity.
Yeah.
There was a lot of titties and bush. A lot of titties.
In the Netflix show? Was there?
Yeah, wow. I mean, for research purposes, I noticed that there was a lot of
in Three Body Problem.
Yeah, the TV series or the Netflix series.
Who the hell gets naked? I don't think there's very few naked people.
Are you thinking of?
In Netflix series for Three Body Problems, there's a scene where they rehydrate everybody. Like they throw all the skins into like a pool.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's like one scene.
Rehydrating.
Yeah, okay.
It's one scene, but it's a scene.
Yeah, because they were showing everything. They were showing titties, dicks, and everything.
Yeah.
Well, it's like literally one scene. So
it's one. Yeah,
it did stand out because I was just like, they're just like average bodies.
Mm.
But no, there's like there's a lot of books that I've either mostly listened to, that's really cool that I would love to see come into movies because Like recently, there's a book by Jeremy
Robinson. Yeah.
Yeah, called Flux, which is like a story about it's basically about a guy who works for this facilities, and they're doing like a scientific experiment, and anybody in this certain bubble, for some reason, like time keeps jumping back, like it jumps back like a day, and jumps back a month, a week, like it just keeps jumping back and back and back like back. I'm to myself, I'm thinking like, yo, this would be a really good fucking movie. But then kind of jump back to the whole three body problem thing. Is that like the guy who thought that three body problem series would be really good was fucking murdered. Like, you guys know about that, right? Like the guy who.
No.
Yeah, I think I talked about on this podcast. So the guy who bought the rights to three body problems, and he bought it to get into a series. Like, he was murdered for some reason. I can't remember what it was. Like, I think I came across like a video about it. But yeah, even at the end of Three Body Problems on Netflix, it'll say like, you know, this the series is dedicated to such and such. And I can't think of why he was murdered. Let me see if I can find it out.
Eric, you keep going. I got it. I'll pull it up. So where this dude? So he bought the rights, or he just authored?
Yeah. So the author is I'm not even gonna try to pronounce the name, but Three Body Problem was written by a Chinese author, and the series was translated into English. So any books or like audiobooks you read, it's been translated. And there's a guy who brought the rights
what
to
the fuck?
series, and he presented to Netflix, and he was fucking murdered.
Yeah,
what did it say?
His name is Lin Kui, or Lin Kai, an executive producer of Netflix. Three Body Problem. He was murdered. It was a planned murder that involved a lawyer who worked on the adaptation. He was poisoned. He was poisoned by a lawyer who helped his company secure the rights for the adaptation. What the fuck?
Yeah, like maybe Three Problem is based on a true story, because there's a lot of people.
Who the fuck poisoned? He died in 2020.
Yeah, like that's fucking crazy.
So the guy didn't get sentenced until March of this year. So that's like 4 years later.
You know what's crazy is that
shit, he was sentenced to death.
Oh shit.
In Shanghai. Shanghai sentenced him to death literally in March of this year.
What's interesting about the guy who like bought the rights is that he's been trying to he's been hustling. He's out there hustling, trying to become like the next fucking richest man in the world. I don't want to say Elon Musk, because that guy's a fucking dick, but he's just waiting to become. Yeah, he's terrible.
Holy shit! Sorry.
But yeah, this guy's trying to become like the next, like, he's basically trying to become not Steven Spielberg, but who's the guy in Star Wars?
George Lucas,
because he felt that the whole three body problem would have been like the next Star Wars Harry Potter series. Like,
it definitely
would
has
make
that
him money.
So check this shit out. The day after Three Body Problem premiered on Netflix, which is Three Body Problem premiered March 21st of 2024. On March 22nd, the lawyer who murdered the producer was sentenced to death. Literally the day after. That is insane.
Yeah, it's a crazy story, like leading up to the show. But I mean, it's a great show, and it's a good book. I need to read the second book. I read the first one and watched the show. But yeah, I mean, the next show won't come out for a while, so I have time to like read the next book. But yeah, I mean, honestly, there's a lot that is lost in context and other things that you're not going to get when you watch a show. Or, you know, perfect. I think this is probably the perfect example is Ready Player One. Right. So in Ready Player One, if you like that movie, which is fine to like it, like it's an enjoyable movie. However,
I hate the movie.
Yeah, if you read the book, you really didn't like that movie. But if you read the book, you also know that it would have been impossible to make that book into a movie because of all the references, all the music references, all the nostalgia references, like all the video games, all that stuff. Like you can't do it. You know, in a book, you don't have to pay as many rights to saying like, oh, they're playing, you know, like a certain like Prince
playing
song.
Prince.
Yeah,
Okay,
you know, if you just name the Prince song, like you'll play it in your head, you know, like Let's Go Crazy. It's just like it's in your head, but you don't have to like pay for the rights for that song. But yeah,
100%. And some of those songs are worth hundreds of thousands just for like 30 seconds.
Yeah. King Arthur asked, book first or show first? So I think so it depends on how cool you want to be.
Yeah.
All right. If you want to be if you want to be a cool asshole like the comic book guy on The Simpsons, then book first always. Because then you could always say, you know, worst show ever or whatever he said. But I just think that you get more context. I'm trying to think of like a book that I've read where the show did it better, or the movie did it better. I think there is at least one or two where they did at least a passable adaptation, but it's very rare. It's very rare.
So I'm thinking on the manga side because I mean y'all guys give me shit for this all the time on the podcast since fucking day one. I actually saw the live action. What the hell was that? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah.
Can you hear us?
Okay, my headphones are about to fucking die. It did like this weird little. I thought I lost connection. Anyway, so they're getting me shit for this, but I saw the live action version of Death Note, the Japanese version, not the Netflix bullshit version, not the. I saw the live action Japanese version of Death Note before I actually saw the animated version. I thought the live action was really good.
Yeah.
The animated version was like, holy shit. Like, it's like I drunk wine and I went off and drunk like fucking Dom Perignon. Like, that's the comparison of the two. But as far as like, yeah, it's really rare for a movie to do better than the book. And I know there's an example out there. I just can't think of what it is.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot. Because, like, so with Ready Player One, I saw the movie first before I read the book. Reading the book, I can see where there's things they couldn't put in. So I'm like, dude, there's no way they'd either pay for that. Also, there's a huge lapse of time where the character, because the character he's a chubby guy. He's like kind of chubby.
Yeah,
he loses weight.
Yeah.
Yeah, and in the book, there's a whole time where he he hits rock bottom because he kind of fucks up, but then he ends up going on a workout regimen to lose weight because he's trying to enact his plan. And you can show that in the film, but like that takes time, and you still got to film it.
You could do a montage. Just saying.
You could, but like that's still time. I mean, who knows? They could have filmed it for runtime because some movies they have to be under a certain time, or else it costs the studio a lot of money, and they're like, you got to cut this out. You know, so
yeah.
I don't know.
Also, I mean, it's the rights. Like, you need rights to the music for a montage, or I don't know. Honestly, like I said, there's two kinds of people, right? If you didn't read the book for Ready Player One, then the movie was awesome. But if you read the book for Ready Player One, the movie wasn't that good. So, and I don't want to fault anybody for either side of that. I mean, because I sort of enjoyed both because I knew that it literally could not do what they did in the book to the movie. And also, the movie totally
nerf.
I want to say nerf.
They took a lot of shit out of there.
Not even just taking the shit out of there. They took out things that were just like intangible. So the book, if you read the book, physically read the book, like in a fucking book format, like reading the pages, there was Easter eggs in the book, and if you figured them all out, you could win a DeLorean, like a real life fucking DeLorean, and somebody did. And you can't put that in movie format.
Well, not that stuff they did. You can't put that in movie format. Is that they showed the fucking winner of that DeLorean on Attack of the Show, which was fucking cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Attack of the Show.
And
damn.
Like I don't even know who told me or referred me to even reading Ready Player One. Like I don't know even where because I think I brought that onto the podcast. I feel like I was the one that like mentioned Ready Player One on the podcast. It started off as as an audiobook, and then I turned around and read the fucking book, and then I went back to read the audiobook again. Well, maybe it was Attack of the Show. I think Attack of the Show was the one that led me to wanting to read the book. Anyways, I was gonna say that, yeah, a lot of the books that like I've been going through and Chronos been mentioning as well. Like, I think what is it? The ones the triangles.
They're by the problem. Oh, you're talking about Pandemic?
No, the triangle.
Pandemic.
Yeah.
Oh my god. That book is so fucked up.
Be a fucking book.
Yeah, that needs to be a show. Well, yeah.
So it definitely needs to be a series. But then I feel like the third book just kind of they just went away from the source material. Like the whole triangles and the skins. I mean, I really need to do a book club. Like it's like a book club thing. Like, oh yeah, this book took me out of the source material because like everybody has the skin tags and blah blah. Now it's just, you got China stealing stuff and bombs and stuff, and it's fucking The Walking Dead basically. But
so did you?
It's still a good series.
So if you read like the book, the Scott Sigler, it's called Pandemic, which is a series. It's a great series. So like the first really two books are probably more cohesive because the last book he made like way after the first two books to finish it. So that's probably why it was kind of weird. But so Scott Sigler, he has a podcast as well, and he basically writes his book during the podcast. So I haven't listened to his podcast. I interacted with him on Twitter a couple times because the guy that wrote Dungeon Crawler Carl recommended one of his books that was really good, and so I got into Scott Sigler books. I haven't read all his books yet, but I've read a few of them. I think the first one was called what the fuck was it called? It was a weird book about like being in space, and like it was very like military focused. Of like basically like imagine being in basically like a submarine in space, and then like to like go faster than light, you had to go like basically into hell, and like everybody went crazy.
That sounds like Event Horizon.
It kind of is like that, but like it's better than that. Like because it gets crazy because like some people that when you dive into like the hell dimension, like they would be sort of normal. They go kind of crazy, but other folks like you had to like strap them down because they like murder people, and then and while still going through military operations. And it was a very interesting book series.
Wait, I feel like it's not a book called Ghost, is it?
No. Hold on, I gotta look up the book.
I was just thinking, like, if we were to do a book club thing, like, there'd be, like, so the first section of the book club would have to be, like, what we're currently reading. And then we have to do, like, a throwback where everybody just, like, talk about a book that they've read. Because I feel like if I look, like, right now, if I look at my Amazon audiobook, I've probably gone through, like, 50 books. Like, probably, like, 10% of that is, like, like, parenting stuff and, like, self-help stuff. Yeah. Like some of the other ones are like some really good fucking sci-fi books that I've gone across, like especially from Jeremy Robinson. Like
Robinson.
Like NPC was a really good fucking book. Fucking what's it called? Was it Prey? Was it Prey? What's it called?
Prey? Well, the Michael Crichton book?
No, this one was where the guy like he basically becomes like a fucking jungle fucking god, basically.
I thought it was Hunter or something like that.
Yeah, Hunter. No, Hunter was the guy. That was a kid who was born in like Alaska, and like he somehow inherited like some fucking crazy ass fucking powers.
Oh, I think the one you're talking about was like where people like mutated, like crazily.
No, it's not that. It's the one I'm thinking about is where oh shit, I keep thinking where my train of fucking thought. Now I'm not thinking about it. No, it was the one where. Shit, what is it? I can't think of it anymore. Because Hunter was the one where the guy was a kid and he was born in Alaska and he ended up inheriting all these powers. And the one I'm thinking about is the one where the guy, where he crash lands in like the rainforest, and he basically like adapts to the environment and becomes what's it called, like Wapanori.
Oh,
he becomes
yeah. Mappin.
Maybe that one's Hunter.
Mappin. I can't answer the name of it now. It's
Mapinori.
Wada
Mapinori?
or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody that speaks Spanish is gonna be so mad listening to this. It's
Oh, I gotta
No,
fucking.
they're
gotta go back
fucking
and look at that.
morons.
Yeah. What's it called? Was it called Hunter? No, it was called Hunter. It was called. I gotta. Where's my phone at? But no, like seriously, this author has really changed my fucking life. But then, like again, I've been like I talked about on the podcast. I went back and started listening to the Never Ending Story, which I learned was a book that was written in German and was translated into English and was made into a film. And like the book was made into 2 movies, and the first half of the movie was movie 1. Second half of the book was made into movie 2. And movie 2 did not follow the book at like, I want to say at all, but not at all. Like there's a lot of stuff that they did not do. But then again, the second book or the second movie didn't do as good as the first one.
There's three movies though.
Oh yeah, it's 3 movies. There's the third. I think the third movie just went on a fucking tangent. It's like they did their own fucking thing.
That's wild stuff.
I was thinking of Hunger. The Hunger.
Yeah,
books.
Hunger. That's what it was. Not Hungry or Hunter. It's Hunger. That one was really good. That was a really good fucking series.
Yeah.
Especially since there was a character named Kronos in there.
I mean,
like literally as I was listening to the book and Kronos' character came up, I was not expecting like the fucking voice. Like it fucking scared me.
Holy shit!
No,
Jack
this
Black
character
is sorry. Jack Black is in Never Ending Story Part 3, and he's like super skinny.
there's a part 3.
Yeah, the third
3,
movie.
yeah.
Jack Black's in it. I'm looking at a screenshot. He's hella young in this, and he's pretty thin.
In Every Story 2,
Is this Seth Green?
Barry Allen's father is in that movie.
Well, I'm surprised.
But yeah, there's a lot of really good like books out there, like even like audiobooks. Like because Netflix picked up Sandman, and if you listen to Sandman on Netflix audiobooks,
so good.
Like Netflix audiobook was so much better than what they did on Netflix. No, wait, sorry, Amazon version of Sandman was amazing, and Netflix picked it up for their series, and they did a really good job. Except that the actors who did the voices on Amazon probably should have been recasted for the Amazon show, because mainly fucking the chick who did Death. What's her name?
Aubrey.
Yeah.
Aubrey
no,
Plaza.
not Aubrey. No, Aubrey Plaza wasn't Death. And it's Sandman.
Oh, and Sandman. Oh, that's
Was it Kat Dennings?
Kat Dennings. Yeah,
yes.
it's gonna say Prodigy's Bay.
Yeah. Kat Dennings should have been. If Kat Dennings was Sandman in the Netflix version, I'd be like, okay, this is spot on, perfect. But then again, they recasted a black lady, and she did a really good job too.
Yeah. So it's Mapinguari is what I was thinking of. That's the Brazilian mystical beast thing that was in
The
Last Hunter. Yeah. One of those books. Anyway, we gotta wrap it up because it's almost
for sure.
11 and I gotta edit and shit. So.
All
right.
What you got? Populating, calculating to next episode.
What's really hot right now? It's like burning up, and it's just released like a couple days ago. Is William Shatner reprises his role as Captain Kirk in like this Star Trek short, and so there's a lot of people involved in this short. It's called Unification. It's like Unification 7-8 something whatever. Just look up Unification Star Trek Unification, not the Next Generation episode. It's the return of Captain Kirk. It's the ending that everybody kind of wanted, where Kirk and Spock say goodbye to each other after they both after Kirk has basically died. It's like a I guess a purgatory or it's another realm. Maybe it's a Netflix, but it's 8 minutes. It's an 8-minute story, and like there's very little talking, but it's like very cool. Like Sam Witwer's in it. He plays like a version of Kirk. It's fucking great.
He plays Starkiller.
Yeah, Starkiller plays Star Trek or the Green Lady Killer. But yeah, it's very good. if you're a Star Trek fan, it's a must watch. It's like 8 minutes. Go ahead. It's on YouTube now. It's originally on, I think it's on Paramount site. But this is like, a lot of people approved this. The Nimoy estate approved it. William Shatner's in it. Paramount approved it. They actually have the return of Robin Curtis. If you know who she is, she's in it. If you don't, just watch it. You'll get it. Other than that, for me this weekend, I'm just kind of chilling. It's supposed to be rainy for like the next week. I don't know if it's this whole state or just the Bay.
It's just,
but it's going to be lots of rain.
It's north of me.
Yeah, so it's just going to be rain for like a good 5 days straight. So I'm just trying to be settled in. I don't really plan to go anywhere until next week, because next week I will not be on the podcast because next week is Turkey Week. So I'll be out of town for a couple days. So that's what I'm saying. In 2 weeks will be the big announcement for everything going on. So the first week of December, everyone will hear like the big drop. I'm just catching up on all these shows that everyone's been talking about, like The Penguin and what is it, The King of Tulsa, stuff like that. So, and I'm playing the new Black Ops like new shit. I think there's a new map for zombies this weekend, but we'll see.
That'd be cool. I mean, great timing because holiday season.
Yeah,
people are gonna be at home, and obviously I talked about how my love for the latest Call of Duty zombie mode. It's been great. It's been fun. Blue is gone for now. I don't know where he went.
Okay.
So I guess I'll just. So what do I got going on? We didn't talk about Dan to Dan, the latest episode, which has been like the most emotional episode. It brought tears to my eyes with my black heart. I'm just saying, it's one of the most. It's the most emotional episode of Dan to Dan so far, which isn't hard because most of them are dank and silly, but this one is has a really fucked up story. And I think I read somewhere today that we're not going to see another Dan until December 9th, which would be a shame. But it's fine. Turkey Day's coming up, so whatever. But I want to talk about it next week, hopefully. If we're not going to have a consensus on next Wednesday, we'll probably talk about the latest book that I've been reading to start the book club. And then I'll pick another book that we can read together, hopefully over the next week, and we'll just start it then. I mean, it's the holiday season. It's a good time to read some books. You have some downtime, so yeah, we can start it then. So other than that, I'm looking forward to Thanksgiving. This is going to be kind of weird for me because this is the first time. How do I put this? I'll have Riley, but I won't have Kay for like the first holiday season, which is going to be fucking weird. But I'm going to spend the time with my brother. He's a fire captain, so he's a firefighter, and I'm going to spend time with him at his fire station, and a bunch of firefighters, which I'm looking forward to doing that because I didn't have any plans. So I thank him. For inviting me and my youngest out to go spend time with them. So yeah,
that's one of the reasons why I love fucking Thanksgiving over Christmas. It's just like so one of the reasons why I love Thanksgiving over Christmas was like I was literally on my way up to my mom's house and my tire blew out. I was going up to my mom's house for Thanksgiving, my tire blew out, and I was like, "Fuck! Like, what am I gonna do?" And I had hit one of my friends like, "Hey, are you down to help me out?" Because like I was able to get my car towed to get like a whole new tire, but I was like, "Yo, like what I'm do for Thanksgiving?" They're like, "Yo, just come through, come over to our house." This is my one of my groomsmen, Ben. He invited me over, and like it was. I mean, I've gone to dinners and stuff at his house like that, but this was like, his family, his mom and dad, and like his wife, mom and dad, and stuff like that. And I came through. It was a lot. It was a lot of fun. I had a really good fucking time. And that was like the reason why I was like, you know what, Thanksgiving is like a good fucking holiday. Like people will give out food and blah, blah, blah. Christmas, motherfuckers are fighting over fucking gifts and blah, blah. Like there's one year where I brought like everybody in my family like fucking gifts. And I was like the one year I did not get a fucking gift. Like, I gave so many people gifts and I get fucking gifts. So that's the reason why I love Thanksgiving over over Christmas. Anyways, yeah. So this week, for me, I was hoping to watch Jan and Ann. I mean, we didn't like Colonel said, we didn't talk about it because this episode was like,
So
like, if you know the story of Bloody Mary, it kind of was like an animated version of that story, but deeper, like a whole lot fucking deeper. Like it was fucking crazy. I hope to catch up on Arcadia
Arcane.
on Netflix.
Arcane.
Yeah,
Arcane.
so good. We didn't talk about that
Yeah.
either. Yeah.
Oh, we didn't talk about that either. Fuck.
Yeah, we didn't talk about that either. And it's like I think they're 6 episodes deep now,
Yep.
which is great because I saw like a snippet of it of like today's episode. I was like, oh, I need to catch up. If we don't do a podcast next week, like I'm down to do a book club thing so we can talk about a couple of books that we've gone through. But I need to catch up on Demon Slayer because like holy shit, there's some stills that were dropped recently that I was like, wait, how far behind am I? Because
I'm very far behind.
this dude, seriously, the shit I saw, I was like, how did this fucking happen? Like, how, I've seen scenes of stuff happening, like the whole Demon Slayer dojo that happened, but then there's like something that happens after that. I'm like, yo, I need to fucking catch up because I'm behind on Demon Slayer. I'm behind on a fucking My Hero Academia. I mean, ever since the whole fucking Almighty and All Might situation, I just kind of fell off of. I didn't even
You're scared for your life.
Yeah,
I'm started getting beat up by that one chick. I'm just saying, that
Yeah.
one chick, she was quite angry.
She's pretty angry, but other than that, yeah, just spend time with family. We'll see what happens with the podcast next week, but yeah, that's about it.
All right,
Oh,
check
wait,
us out
is
here,
that-
somebody.
I got it. Oh, just real quick. So, we talked about it briefly, but Snow White is coming with a very brown woman playing Snow White. So people already lost their minds.
She's not that brown.
She's browner
She
than
is.
This
Snow
is
White.
again. These are some of the lightest skinned black folks ever. Which
She's
I'm saying this.
Mexican. She's Hispanic. I'm sorry. I don't think she's Mexican, but Rachel Ziegler plays Snow White.
She's so light. Like this is what I hate the whole colorism thing. It's like they're saying that she's not white, but she's like her skin is quite fair. So like what the fuck?
And what are y'all gonna do if they cast Hermione as a black girl?
So Hermione in the books is supposed to have messy hair. Like if you go back and read Harry Potter books, they didn't expressly say that she's white.
I know, but people are already stuck on that. So,
they cannot be stuck on it because in the cursed.
They're stuck.
No. So in the Cursed Child,
Yeah,
the play, like she's Hermione's black. So get over it.
Yeah, and she's also an adult in the play. So.
Well, yeah,
Anyway.
because she's older. Yeah.
Yeah, and she has kids. Anyway,
the actress that played. Sorry, let's get out of here.
Oh, go ahead. No, say it real quick. Hurry up.
No, I was gonna say the actress who's gonna be playing Snow White is she is of Polish descent.
See, so get the
She's
fuck out
Polish
of here.
and Colombian.
God
No,
damn.
she's her mom is Colombian and her dad is Polish.
These people, like
She's I mean whatever. She was
She's
in
very
Little
brown.
Mermaid and other stuff, but yeah.
All right. You just experienced Black on the Black Ties Infinity, the dankest podcast on the internet. Check us out anywhere and everywhere with Bees and BTI. We're pretty much on all the socials, maybe even leaving one, but keep an eye out for us. Just look for us at Bees and BTI. It's BTHANBTI. Anywhere you get your podcast, just know that every Wednesday, 8:30 Pacific-ish time, we go live on YouTube and simulcast on Twitch. Just look for us. Like I said, we have our official website, BenHabProductions.com/BNBTI. We have an email, BNBTI@gmail.com. You can email us and let us know you want to join our Discord server because we have one of those too. And I guess we're going to be joining a couple more social media stuff, so be looking out for us out there.
all right, we are, I guess, officially.
Through his God-given genius of science, man at last has succeeded in penetrating further and further into the unknown vastness of space. Yet many questions remain unanswered.